opinion show. It's meant for informational purposes only. It is not licensed financial advice. It is very important to do your own analysis before making any investment based on your own personal circumstances. You should take independent financial advice from a professional in connection with or independently research and verify any information that you hear from the Call of Freedom and wish to rely upon, whether for the purpose of making an investment decision or otherwise. I mean, come on, guys. Duh. It's a cryptocurrency investment and a political talk radio. Of course, it's opinions.
Computers are online. I'm gonna start loading software.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Welcome to the Call to Freedom.
Broadcasting live from Verdcoin Studios on LRN FM.
You're listening to Will.
You will listen to every damn word I have to say!
And Aria.
Be afraid. Be very afraid.
Stay tuned for political talk and everything crypto. That's right.
Broadcasting internationally on our BitPlus Network satellite.
This is
The Call to Freedom.
All right, let's boot it up.
That's right. Welcome here to the Call to Freedom here on LRN.FM. This awesome Thursday broadcast brought to you by opiates. This should be an interesting episode. I was out yesterday. I have a big mouth, but it's not big enough for all of my teeth. And I was a foster kid for a while as a teenager, so I didn't actually get my wisdom teeth taken out when most people would have. So the two on the bottom point straight in toward my tongue. They're grown in on the inside of my jaw. You know what I'm saying? Instead of pointing up,
Yeah, weird.
they point in.
On the bottom?
On the bottom, yeah. And the ones on the top were twisted. And they're
like
just
rotated horizontally.
Yeah, well, they just, instead of being like straight, like your teeth should be, they were just kind of turned sideways.
Sure.
Because there wasn't enough room in my mouth for them to grow the way they were supposed to. And all that pressure is actually really bad, it turns out. So the slightest little weakness in a tooth, and wisdom teeth are known for being like what you don't reach very well. And when there's not enough room in your mouth, you really don't reach them because it's kind of painful to brush a tooth that's growing toward your jawbone. Does that make yeah. So I had to have one of them removed because it collapsed. They call it a collapse, but what literally happens is I'm eating something and all of a sudden I hear a pop, and what that means is that the tooth has basically exploded in my mouth. And
No.
Yeah. So anyway, I went and had it pulled. And when I got it pulled, it was pretty bad, really painful, and now I have this huge hole in my jaw, and I feel kind of like somebody roundhouse kicked me in the face.
Awesome. Honestly, you sound surprisingly totally great.
Yeah,
vocally,
it's because I only ate
saying.
one instead of two like I should have, so like I'm hurting a little bit to be lucid enough to actually do this.
Oh, okay, great. Well,
It started to kick in it started to kick in as I was leaving the house, like about 10 minutes before I left, and I was like, I'm not sure I'm going to be able to do this.
You gotta get an upper.
Oh, but now I'm here and I'm like, okay, it's starting. I'm not at that peak anymore where I feel like I'm literally floating and my arms are rubber. So I don't do well with opiates. It's why I've never been one of those people. Like I've done a lot of different drugs, but when I was younger, but opiates just was never something I got into. I just I don't like them.
I'm highly sensitive to all derivatives of codeine, so I can't take almost all pain medications. So when I had my jaw surgery, because my teeth also don't fit in my face, I just was on some like children's kind of thing. Like,
well, they put me on hydrocodone 5, And normally,
Yeah, that wouldn't work for
I
me.
would be taking. Normally, someone with what I got done would take a 10 or a 15. But lucky for me, I also have what my wife calls an inhuman level of pain. What's the word when you can take a lot of pain?
Tolerance?
Tolerance. There you go. My wife calls it an inhuman amount of pain tolerance. So, I popped my knee out of socket riding a mechanical bull and tore my meniscus, and then spent 3.5 hours after that walking around after I put it back in place myself, which is what gave me the tear. I spent 3.5 hours walking around the carnival with my oldest daughter because she wanted to ride the rides.
Well, I feel like your goal today is just to make me as physically uncomfortable as possible. And you are succeeding.
It was like the
lie.
size of a watermelon when we finally left.
I mean, you would think that the bukkake and the pedophilia would do it, but no, it's just this.
No.
This is it. I'm
It's
just
my
can't
weird and
handle it.
insane amount of pain tolerance. Yeah.
Yeah.
So, anyway, how you doing today, Aria? Have I made you completely nauseous yet?
No, I'm good. No, you started talking about opiates, and I actually used to have a really bad opiate addiction for like 2 years, so that got me thinking about those.
Well, I'm glad that you kicked it, and please don't let my commentary on.
Me too.
They make me feel like
Oh,
crap.
no, that was years ago.
Good,
I mean, it's way behind me.
I itch like I have the hives, and I'm nauseous, and just like I said, one hydrocodone 5,
forgot
and
about
I'm
the
like,
itching altogether.
oh god,
Totally forgot about that.
I hate it.
Weird.
My scalp hurts because even taking one and then going to bed, I will scratch my scalp until like it will bleed. Like I will scratch scabs on my scalp in the middle of the night. I hate them, but it's either that or not be able to sleep because the pain is pretty. It's got me pretty good. So I mean they had a hard time getting the tooth out, and they had to kind of like use part of the underside of like my gum line for one side to like pry like a pry bar. And I guess they bruised my gums pretty bad when they did that. So, but yeah.
I'm making faces at you, Will.
I was numbed up at the time, so I didn't feel it. I mean, I could feel all the pressure. And he was
You
just
were
like,
awake?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. I would have been like, absolutely not.
Yeah.
No. When I had my wisdom teeth out, the guy was like, yeah, sometimes people don't go under. I'm like, don't joke with me. We're
Yeah.
not playing. Okay? Don't play. That's not what we're doing.
Nope, no
I was away from
gas.
mine, were removed.
No gas, nothing like that. Just like come in, a little bit of Novocaine jelly on the spot. Then I'm going to say he hit me with the needle
shots.
at least 9 times. At least 9 times. Then he had to break. Then the tooth didn't want to come out, so they had to break it, and then pull it out. And that I think that's why my jaw hurts so badly. Is they had to break the tooth to get it out.
So for all 2 people who have not tuned out of the show yet, what do we have today, Will?
Please let there be news. Please let there be some news.
Oh God, there is so much news. Oh my God, there is so much news. Let's see here.
Oh, thank goodness.
Trump pulled out of the peace deal that he took credit for that wasn't actually his. Big surprise there, because that's he already did it with Iran, and people were like, Kim Jong-un doesn't want to do peace negotiations with Trump anymore. After like 2 days after the Iran deal was trashed, and I was like, well, I mean, would you? He's kind of already showed his capacity to totally not take American, deals of this type seriously. So what do you really expect? And then we've got, I think I want to cover this because I know this is probably going to be something that we're all going to argue about a little bit. NFL has rolled out new rules to prevent anti-police violence or any other protests of any kind that include kneeling during the national anthem. We have coverage on the fact that players are already looking at new ways to protest in light of this, but should they have to? Should the NFL or NFL owners be able to tell players whether or not they can protest while they're on the field? Is this a free speech issue? Is it a private property issue? Is it a private business issue? We'll get into it when we get back here on The Call to Freedom on LRN.FM.
Looking for a great real estate investment? Consider New Hampshire, which is ground zero for the Liberty Movement. Your first call should be to Mark Worden from Porcupine Real Estate. He's more than just a real estate agent. He's your New Hampshire concierge. Where are the best places to live? Do you want farm, city, the burbs, or forest? Do you want a duplex or multifamily building so that renters pay your mortgage? There are homes in all price ranges in New Hampshire, and Mark can help with financing too. Invest in liberty and property. Mark Worden can help.
PorcupineRealEstate.com. I've been told no in many different ways.
I give you an order and you're going to obey it.
George, you can go this way. You can do that and you have to leave here.
You cannot bring signs into the rally.
Walk with me. Well, I'm comfortable here, actually. Whoa. Hey. Who do you think you are? Excuse me.
There is no video and audio allowed in this office.
No, I have work today. This is...
You ain't gonna make it.
Wait on account. Now. Wait a minute.
Whoa.
Hey! Oh my God! Unbelievable!
Why are you running from me?
Because you scared me.
You
What am I being detained for?
You're being served.
What is this?
You're being served.
What is this? Bureaucrats have a funny way of telling people no.
That's the sound of the men working on the chain.
Derek J's Victimless Crime Spree. Watch it for free and order the Director's Cut DVD at victimlesscrimespree.com.
Did you know you can get news updates about what's happening with the Liberty Radio Network delivered in the way you prefer? You can sign up for our email updates at updates.lrn.fm. Plus, you can stay in the loop by joining our Facebook profile at facebook.lrn.fm or follow us at Twitter at twitter.lrn.fm. It's all free, so sign up now at updates.lrn.fm for news updates delivered to your email box, facebook.lrn.fm to follow our Facebook page, and twitter.lrn.fm to receive our tweets.
Are you tired of governments around the world killing innocent people? Stop using their money. There is an alternative. Bitcoin is a stateless, free market, non-political currency. Bitcoin is money that cannot be inflated or controlled by any state. By continuing to use their money, you're perpetuating the killing. Stop doing it. You have an incredible alternative available to you now. Learn it, use it, spread it.
Get started with Bitcoin at Bitcoin.com. It's Bitcoin.com.
Imagine someone in your community getting in their car, turning on the radio, and hearing the Liberty Radio Network. You can make that vision a reality with your own micro radio station. Visit broadcast.lrn.fm to learn how you can put our programs on the air in your area. You can have LRN.FM running around the clock, and you can even add in your own local shows. Building a radio station is simple, but programming isn't. That's where LRN.FM comes in. Learn more at broadcast.lrn.fm. That's broadcast.lrn.fm.
Free Press Publications is an independent, alternative media and publishing company founded in June 2009 with the mission of ensuring a free press for the freedom movement and is committed to spreading the message of peace, freedom, love, and liberty. FPP also gives new authors an avenue for publishing freedom-oriented material. FPP brings you daily news and commentary on the website fpp.cc, as well as a daily 5-minute newscast, FPP Radio News, and weekly news, views, and commentary in the FPP Freedom Minute and Peace, Love, Liberty Radio at fppradio.com, and the monthly newspaper FPP News at news.fpp.cc. Find FPP online at fpp.cc. That's fpp.cc, as in Creative Commons.
Join the LRN.FM Discord for live chat 24/7 at discord.lrn.fm. That's discord.lrn.fm.
This is Angel Clark, and you're listening to The Call to Freedom on LRN.fm.
All right, welcome back here to the Call to Freedom here on LRN.FM. We're broadcasting live from the Zencast studio here in beautiful Keene, New Hampshire. And we're bringing you some of the best news with some of the worst commentary you've ever heard right here on
now, speak for yourself.
It's all bad jokes and inappropriate comments.
That's the best kind of commentary,
right?
dude. What are you talking about?
Well, as you can hear, we're finally joined by Mr. Tardy, Tom Gray.
Come on now. Come on, I had to feed my family. What's more libertarian?
Will's pretty angsty today.
It's the
emo
drugs.
Kid. emo kid.
It's the drugs. My wife
Very
even said
emo
so.
kid.
She's like, I don't like it when you take these. I was like, I don't either. And she was like, yeah, you can tell.
Does it make you a really talkative smartass?
It just they make me cranky. I don't like how I feel when I'm on them. Yeah, I don't like the way they make me feel. Other than the fact that I don't currently feel like someone's trying to curb stomp me. Besides that, I feel like crap. They make me
we're only one
tired.
segment into the show. Somebody will want to curb stomp you by the end of it.
Well, they make me feel. I'm itchy. My stomach is off. I'm tired and groggy. I don't like feeling this way. That's why I use cannabis usually for pain management for my arthritis, instead of the opiates that they would readily give me if I ever asked for them. That's why I avoid them. It's because they make me feel like crap. So that doesn't really equal out to a very happy Will. If I feel like crap from the time I get up to the time I go to bed. So anyway, what's going on today? Well, the NFL has brought out new rules, and they've decided that they are a private entity, and that they're going to stifle the free speech rights of their employees. Let's see what the Hill has to say.
NFL owners approved a new national anthem policy on Wednesday, outlawing kneeling when the national anthem is played before games. The new policy states that teams can be fined if, quote, personnel do not show appropriate respect for the flag and anthem, but players will not be required to be on the field during the anthem under the new policy. The revision was prompted after months of discussions on how to handle players who protested police brutality and racial inequality by kneeling during the national anthem. President Trump rallied against the protests during the NFL season last year, calling on owners to fire players who participated, and urging the NFL to create a policy barring the protests.
All right. So you're already seeing, it would seem, a change, I guess, in tactics, or a look at changing tactics by members of the NFL who wish to continue protesting. Let's see, where was it at?
They could get this reversed really quickly. What percentage of NFL players are black?
Oh, it's in the 80s.
Yeah.
Yeah. Then don't play.
Right.
If it's that serious, don't play. Take away 80% of their team, and problem solved.
Here's the problem, though, because when
they
you
want
think
money,
when you
is the
think
problem.
but think not about the top 10% of NFL players, because about 2/3 of players who play in the NFL play 3 years or less. And about 2/3 of players, and there's overlap there, are making veteran minimum salary, or they're making rookie wages, which is still, in terms of annual wages, quite a bit of money. But when you're only making that for a few years out of your life, and you don't have a ton of other marketable skills, like, this is their one shot to make enough money, basically to try to set them up for their second career.
Well,
they're not even trying to set them up for the rest of their life. No, it's not stupid. I mean,
no, it's completely
you have a chance
stupid
for 3
to
years.
bank everything on one chance. That's
no, they're not
completely stupid.
Yeah, it's stupid to bank everything, but to bank 3 years is not stupid. It would be stupid to give up those 3 years.
They could get a head
over
injury and be, paralyzed the rest of their lives, or just suffer brain damage like the rest of them.
Well,
So yeah, I'm going to stick with stupid.
Well, ironically enough, then they're better taken care of, because the medical insurance kicks in then, and that's the other thing. Like, by playing, if you make it to your vested veteran status, then your medical bills are taken care of basically the rest of your life, or anything football related, and they'll pigeonhole it so that anything that happens to you becomes football related. So it's something that many of these young men come from severely disadvantaged backgrounds. They have one shot to do this for a few years, and then they've got to go on with the rest of their lives. But this helps get them out of the gutter.
I'm from South Panola, where our entire high school team a few years ago went to the NFL, and it was their only shot of being successful in life. Good for them. Still a poor decision. A 4-year degree in anything else would be
but this is also
far more intelligent.
This is how most of them get their 4-year degrees in the first place. So you got your 4-year degree and your medical insurance.
Tom, nobody in the NFL is going to college, dude.
What are you talking about? They require players to go to college.
What he's talking about is very few of them.
First.
Very few of them can do what Peyton Manning did. That's the reason why it was.
That's not true. That's not true. It's absolutely the norm for people to get their 4-year degrees before they go to the NFL. Underclassmen entering the NFL are usually counseled against it unless they're going to be certain first-round picks.
Yeah, that's definitely.
But so what we're talking about here though is giving up that one chance to. For what purpose? Because those people could refuse to play and it wouldn't change anything because there's a whole nother wave of people who are similarly situated who could take that roll over. Now the wealthier players, the ones who are better advantaged, they should be doing more to stand up to
spitting all over free market principles. If
the
they're the
NFL's
best
not a free
players who
market
deserve. No, but we're not talking about the NFL. We're talking about your approach to this. If they're the best players and they deserve to be where they're at, then sitting down and refusing to play should have the free market effect that we would expect it to have.
Except
it should be, they could just replace them with inferior players.
But they're not.
If they're the best, and they're the best, and nobody's going to want to go watch them if they're not the best.
There's a lot more decisions.
Get good.
There's a lot more decisions that go into personnel than who's the best.
Tom, I'm looking at the numbers here from the NCAA, and you're incorrect about the thing with the underclassmen as far as juniors going. The number dropped
Juniors
in 2015. That's what I'm talking about. These kids aren't graduating.
Do things
they go to junior year, and then they drop out and go to the draft.
What's the percentage of that though? Because so I know that there was a lot of discussion about lowering the draft pickability age, whatever you call that. But I think that a lot of people do still get a degree because they know that the likelihood of them making it that big is not so high.
Yeah, you're not even draft eligible until your high school class has been out for more than 3 years.
Yeah, juniors.
So you got to do something.
Juniors in high school, and out of
juniors in college.
In college,
dude. And a lot of them have graduated in those 3 years.
On Free Talk Live, we're bringing people to the ideas of liberty every day. From wrestling superstars like Glenn Jacobs.
You guys really are having an impact, I believe. Like I said, a lot of where I am now is due to listening to Free Talk Live. You changed my mind on some very important issues years ago.
To random people tuning in on the radio.
I was kind of stuck in the left-right paradigm. I heard your show by chance on a Saturday night. From there, I went on, joined the Free State Project, and become an amplifier. So, that's really the reason why I amp is because I know that if it wasn't for you guys being on as many stations as you are, I never would have found the ideas of liberty.
Your amp will directly change more lives by getting Free Talk Live in front of people looking for talk radio online and on the air. When you amp Free Talk Live, you get perks like access to the AMP-only Facebook group and AMP podcast. Visit amp.freetalklive.com.
In Survivor Max 2, School Bites, Max must scavenge through a wasteland swarming with the undead. Desperate to find the medicine he needs, he discovers a community of survivors at his former school. Has he finally found the safe haven he's been looking for, or will he discover that school bites? Look for Survivor Max on Facebook, read reviews on Amazon, and read Chapter 1 at survivormax.com.
The Free State Project has reached its goal of 20,000 liberty lovers who've pledged to move to New Hampshire and get active to achieve liberty in our lifetime. Perhaps you're trying to figure out what part of New Hampshire should be your destination. If so, consider Keene. You'll find more than 150 reasons to move to Keene at move.freekeene.com. Keene is famous for its historic, publicity-generating activism, as well as being the liberty media capital of the world. It's home to freekeene.com, New Hampshire's destination for liberty activism, news, and opinion. For years, we've been compiling over 150 reasons to move to Keene at move.freekeene.com, where you'll learn about some of what's happening here and what makes Keene a great place to live. If you love liberty, you'll probably enjoy anywhere you end up in the Shire. But do your due diligence first. Please visit move.freekeene.com for the full list of over 150 reasons to move to Keene. That's move.freekeene.com.
The 3 most important things you can do for LRN.FM are: 1. Let your friends know you're listening to LRN.FM on your social networking profile. 2. Buy the things you buy online through shop.lrn.fm. 3. Give $5 a month to the AMP program at amp.lrn.fm. It's my firm belief that the AMP program is the best use of your charitable dollar among liberty-oriented groups. Support all your favorite organizations, but make sure you give $5 a month to the AMP program at amp.lrn.fm.
This is Michael Dean from the Freedom Fiends. I've run websites since 1996 and have used over a dozen web hosts in that time. AgristHosting.com is the only one that hasn't broken my heart. Agrist Hosting's uptime and service is stellar, and their DDoS mitigation is the best I've seen. That's important because if you tell the truth in this world, you'll ruffle feathers. And some people will try dirty tricks to silence your voice. No matter what the haters hit us with, Agrist Hosting keeps our websites online. If you have a mission-critical commercial presence or a world-changing activism site, you cannot tolerate any skullduggery. So go with agristhosting.com. Have a WordPress or blog site, but you're not satisfied with performance or uptime? Or just want raw hosting? Want to pay with Bitcoin? Agrist Hosting specializes in high-performance hosting with personalized service. Go to agristhosting.com and click on the button that says Get Hosted. That's agristhosting.com.
You're listening to the best liberty-oriented audio streamed around the clock, on the air, and online. This is the Liberty Radio Network at LRN.FM.
You're listening to the Call to Freedom on LRN.FM.
تستمتعون إلى برنامج نداء للحرية مباشرة على LRN.FM.
Welcome back here to the Call to Freedom here on LRN.FM. Broadcasting live from the Shire. And, ooh, Lordy, is it a hot day up here today? It's almost like it's summer. You know what? I bought some really... Did you see the pictures that I put up yesterday? I put some really awesome flowers on the way home from the dentist yesterday. It was really kind of funny, me trying to talk to the attendant at the nursery, at the flower nursery, as I tried not to drool blood everywhere. It was pretty it was hilarious. I'm like, I'd be talking and like halfway through the conversation I'd just have to stop and point at my wife, and she'd come over and be like, so where was he at? And then I would have to run and find somewhere to go hide back and like spit in a bush or something, and then come back and be like, I'm sorry, I just had this oral thing done. My mouth is...
I was about to say, you don't need to go around telling people you just had oral.
Right. I just came from the dentist. I had this stuff like ripped out of my face, and they're like, oh, it's totally understandable. You want these white ones, right? Yes, those. And the orange one, the Gibraltar's right over there. But big, beautiful white and orange. That's right. Azalea bushes.
Rocket top, you'll always...
So this time next year, once they're all grown out, because I got pretty good sized ones. Once they're all grown out and grown together, when you drive by my house, when they're in full bloom, it'll be a white, then an orange, then a white, then an orange, then a white, then an orange. Checkerboard of azalea bushes. I couldn't find the ones that grow in Campbell County. The fire azalea. that grows there in Campbell County. I couldn't find those. I had to get one called a Gibraltar. It's a hybrid, but it's still pretty. I guess the fire ones won't grow here because of the climate, but oh well. We still got orange and white. I'm happy.
You said those will bloom by next year.
Well, no, they'll all bloom. The white ones are in full bloom right now, and the orange ones are all budded out. They just haven't bloomed yet. I'm saying that next year, when they get their growth for the year, it won't be like a bush. They'll be kind of grown together. So
ironically, this is what they keep telling us about the Tennessee football program: is next year. When they're grown, next year when they're grown, it won't just be a bunch of bushes.
Yeah, it'll look cohesive.
They'll actually win. It'll actually be pleasant to look at next year.
Next year, it's always next year. After Philip Fulmer completely killed the team, the last 4 seasons he was there. Anyway,
we're not bitter or anything.
No, Tennessee football fans aren't bitter at all. We're talking about this thing with the NFL, okay? And I'm just going to go out here. I'm just going to say it. NFL owners are full of it. They're not private businesses, no matter how much they try to convince the public that they are. So much of the money that goes into the NFL is from the taxpayer. So I'm sorry. With that much massive tax subsidy coming to your business, you don't get to declare yourself a free enterprise and that you can limit the free speech of your quote-unquote employees, okay? You're a government-run business. Let's just be honest. You are paid for mostly by the taxpayer. And if you're paid for mostly by the taxpayer, then I get to decide whether or not they get to speak. Not you. And oh wait, the law of the land says I don't get to decide whether or not they get to speak. It's public land. So guess what? Stick a sock in it. These guys should be allowed to protest or stop taking your welfare check.
So what about this, right? It is like you can think of it as all of the taxpayers came out and said, hey, we think that this is super uncool and everybody's super angry and we're all really upset that like whatever, right? Not all of them, but like a decent enough percentage that it it made them make this decision. That's kind of like a semi-democratic process.
Doesn't work like that, though. We're not a democracy. We're a republic where the law protects the rights of individuals above the opinion of the mob.
Well, and
so if a majority of taxpayers,
people who have a specific mindset to worship the state in the first place.
Well, that and a majority of taxpayers have a distrustful opinion of Muslims. Does that mean that we deport all the Muslims? No. Why? Well, because this is America where rights aren't dependent on the opinion of the mob. Rights exist whether or not you agree with them or whether or not the state agrees. No, agreement isn't necessary. The only time you have a right to stop someone from doing or saying something is if they're on your private property. And guess what?
Yeah, that's fair.
Stadiums aren't private property. They are almost exclusively funded by the taxpayer. Watchdog.org has shown in their recent study that over the last 2 decades, the NFL has raked in $7 billion of taxpayer money just for stadiums and renovations. Another study from Brookings Institute showed that federal taxpayers, not state, not Vegas taxpayers for a Vegas stadium, not Oakland taxpayers for an Oakland stadium, federal taxpayers have subsidized the construction of 36 stadiums at a cost of over $3.2 billion since the year 2000. That's just since the year 2000. So I'm sorry, these are not private. This isn't private. It's anything but private. If you steal from the taxpayer to build your business, you don't get to say, oh, well, we're private industry. No, you're communism.
So then how should they make decisions?
Who?
I'm just kind of playing the devil's advocate here.
The NFL?
Yeah. How should they make decisions about how they run things?
They should
should it come from Congress?
Well,
right?
they should. What they shouldn't be doing is unilaterally declaring that, well, your rights don't exist here because you're a football player. We now get to call. Basically, I don't feel that the NFL should get its cake and eat it too. You don't get to call yourself public and beg for public money when you want public money, and then consider yourself private when you're infringing and encroaching on the rights of the people who play.
Yeah, that's fair. Although, honestly, I would say that they don't really care very much if they are private or not. They're really just it seems that they are kind of just following orders, and it's like, okay, the government, which funds us, doesn't want us to be speaking poorly about veterans, so.
That's the other major point that's really, really scary here. In the past few years, the Pentagon spent $6.8 million to pay for patriotic displays during the games of professional sports teams. Now that's this is just up to 2012. So this number's grown since then. The Pentagon signed 72 contracts with teams in the NFL, the the Major League Baseball, National Hockey, Major League Soccer, and basically it's just paid patriotism. And that's another reason why these owners are like, oh, well, we got, because they're, you'll lose your contract. Taxpayers paid $49,000 to Milwaukee Brewers owners to allow the Wisconsin National Guard to sponsor a Sunday singing of God Bless America. The New York Jets were paid $20,000 to recognize 1 to 2 New Jersey National Guard soldiers as hometown heroes. Let's see here. Atlanta Falcons received $879,000. The Patriots, $700,000. The Buffalo Bills, $650,000. The Atlanta Braves, $450,000. And the Minnesota Wild, $570,000. All just in the year 2013 for, again, paid acts of patriotism. We'll be back in just a moment on the Call to Freedom.
I love My Magic Mud. I drink a lot of coffee. I had stains on my teeth. Then I found My Magic Mud, and I was told it would remove stains. So I paid attention when I brushed the first time. My Magic Mud is black tooth powder, and the difference it made in my teeth in one application was noticeable. With 4, my teeth were as white as you normal folks out there. Please go to mymagicmud.com and buy a jar. There's 150 applications for $25. You can use Bitcoin, mymagicmud.com.
Is spreading the message of liberty, cryptocurrency, and peace around the globe worth $2 per month to you? As you may already know, in addition to our internet feed, LRN.FM broadcasts on free-to-air satellite across North and Central America, as well as Sub-Saharan Africa. And we've been available on satellite for free 24/7 since 2010. The LRN.FM free-to-air satellite signal is reaching some of the most oppressive regimes in the world, and there's no doubt our ideas are making an impact. You can learn more about the channel's impact by watching the 3-minute video at fund.lrn.fm. If you'd like to help free minds globally with our ideas of liberty, cryptocurrency, and peace, you can donate as little as $2 per month via fund.lrn.fm. You can help us continue and expand our satellite broadcast to multiple continents. Visit fund.lrn.fm today, and thank you for your help. Don't forget to share the link on social media. That's fund.lrn.fm. Did you know we've taken our LRN.FM telephone listen line to a new level with the LRN.FM audio on demand line? Now you can call 712-770-8447 anytime and listen to LRN.FM's live feed. And you can listen to a bunch of our original shows on demand. Long distance fees may apply. Just dial 712-770-8447 and choose from the menu. 712-770-8447. Ross Ulbricht was convicted in early 2015 of running the infamous Silk Road Underground Market. The Silk Road was a gift to humanity and helped reduce the harms brought on by drug prohibition. For this good deed, Ross has been sentenced to life in prison with no possibility of parole. Now, an appeal is Ross's only chance, and he needs your support. Please visit freeross.org, where you can contribute via various methods, including Bitcoin. Visit freeross.org. That's freeross.org. Some of you asked, and now we've delivered. LRN.FM's live Keene, New Hampshire studio shows are now streamed in HD on Twitch. Visit our channel at twitch.lrn.fm and give it a follow. If you have Amazon Prime, you get 1 free subscription on Twitch. If you use it on our channel, Twitch will give LRN.FM a monthly piece of your Prime subscription cost. So please watch, follow, share, and subscribe to twitch.lrn.fm. That's twitch.lrn.fm.
Hollywood's biggest stars are rallying for a good cause this week with the Save Our Children campaign. Celebs like Jessica Simpson, Brad Pitt, and Gwyneth Paltrow headlined a charity event to help their suffering kids who desperately need a chance to live a normal life. Angelina Jolie talked to Starfix about the charity, saying, quote, "You don't have to be a mother to want to help my children, many of whom are not getting a proper education. If you look at the numbers, 1 in 5 of my children will struggle with drug problems." Joining us now is a representative from the charity, Julie Harrison. Julie, it was such a great cause.
Absolutely. We're talking about children who don't have any positive role models. They're born into a life they didn't ask for, and if the state's not going to step up and help these kids, it's time someone did something.
Here's a quote from Victoria Beckham, and I found this powerful. "It breaks my heart to think about these kids living somewhere in my house with no hope for a happy future. Who knows if they even have food to eat?" Julie, according to your group's website, a staggering number of STARS children are being exploited growing up without parents.
Right.
This is the Onion News Network.
Do you love Twitter? Make sure you favorite the LRN.FM Twitter account so you can receive our tweets at twitter.lrn.fm. That's twitter.lrn.fm.
You are listening to the Call to Freedom on LRN.FM. आप सुन रहे हैं स्वतंत्रता की पुकार सिर्फ और सिर्फ LRN.FM पे।
All right, welcome back here to the Call to Freedom here on LRN.FM. So we've been talking about this story about the NFL owners making sure to do all they can to please the fans that feed them by saying, you know what? If you're not going to engage in the hero worship nationalism thing, well, then your entire team's going to get in trouble. We're going to fine the team if you decide to protest or don't show what we've deemed a proper amount of respect for the national anthem.
Let's be clear about something. When you say the NFL says it's going to fine teams, the people who voted on this are the NFL owners.
Yes.
The ones who are going to be paying the fines are the NFL
idiots
owners.
that voted for it.
So the people who, all this is the NFL owners saying, we are going to fine ourselves if our players do things we don't like, and use that as an excuse to fire the players if we don't like them.
Yes.
Now, the other thing, here's what I'm waiting to see. Because usually when NFL players are fined for on-the-field behavior, it goes to the NFL Player Cares Foundation, which helps take care of players from the eras before there was enough money to really pay for their medical costs. So taking care of those guys' medical costs. When they're fined for behavioral stuff, it usually goes to a designated charity, usually a children's charity. I will say right now on the show that the first time that a team is fined for something under this policy, they're going to kick that money to some veterans group and make a big kiss the butts of the Trumpkins statement with it. Oh, it was horrible that the veterans' feelings were hurt by this poor test.
What about the not-for-profit? They're legally classified as a non-profit.
Actually, the NFL gave up its tax exemption a few years ago because they finally got wealthy enough that it made more sense to pay taxes.
Really?
Yeah. That's
when
2014 or 2015.
It would have to be after 2015 because what I'm reading is from 2015.
Yeah, they gave up their tax exemption right around 2015. But it was voluntary. You know, right before that they were operating under a very stupid Supreme Court
They voluntarily chose to pay taxes?
Yes, because the cost of maintaining the nonprofit status for all 32 teams was greater than the amount that they actually pay in taxes now.
Yep, says after 73 years, the NFL finally gave up their tax-exempt status.
It's not cheap to maintain tax-exempt status, especially you're talking about 32 independent organizations. So
yeah.
That's so funny. Just so ironic. Like, hey, in order to not have to pay us money, what we're going to do is we're just going to charge you this, like, very large sum of money, and then you won't have to pay us this other large sum of money. Does that sound like a good deal? And everybody's like, totes, that's great.
Well, they pay the money mostly to people like Melanie.
Yeah.
Accountants to maintain that status.
Well, I mean, at least that money's going to the private industry and not going into the coffers of the state. Not all, at least not all of it. You know, the accountants get to keep some of that money that they get paid for themselves.
So slightly different sort of color, I guess, on this story, but like, do we think that taking a knee in the national anthem in the first place is even the best way to be protesting the issues that they are protesting?
Who cares if it's the best way? It's a
Why
way.
not wave a middle finger at the flag during the national anthem?
Because I feel like right. I feel
if you
like
want to
it's a whole other
protest,
hoopla about a
protest.
thing that doesn't really make much of a difference. And
Well, look at how much attention it got.
Yeah, you have to acknowledge how much attention just the controversy of how dare he not? What is he doing? This is the national religion. How dare he? Heretic! Burn the heretic! Was the reaction.
Flip
well,
it off,
so the
right?
first time, but then like after that, how effective is? I mean, there's like sort
Oh,
of.
it's
diminishing
been
returns,
every
it
time.
seems.
Well,
Really?
think about how long
Flipping
it's
him
been.
off would be
haven't
like
heard
dropping
about
the
it
F-bomb.
as much
Like,
anymore.
there's
No,
this
think
thing
about how long
about
it's been, though.
Answering
how
our,
long, and since what?
How long since Colin Kaepernick first did this? I mean, Colin Kaepernick hasn't played for an NFL team in 2
years,
seasons.
yeah.
And he's still the poster child for this because he did it a couple times. Think about that.
Tom has a point.
But was there any meaningful difference in police violence? Was there any meaningful change?
No, I mean, the point wasn't to
anything do
cause
that,
any
though?
actual change. The point was
Sure.
just to virtue signal and get people's attention and say, "Hey,
To
look,
draw
I'm
attention
not happy."
to it. It's not virtue signaling. Is not.
No, it's virtue
Not the right
signaling.
way to put
If he wanted to
this.
do something about police violence, he's got the money to do something about police
Who's
violence.
he? Who's he?
Kaepernick.
Kaepernick.
Well, he has given over $1 million of his personal wealth to charities aimed at both addressing community police relations and teaching kids to be better citizens. So he has put money to it as well, even though he doesn't have nearly as much money coming in as he did when he was playing.
Either way, the national anthem is a part of this new national religion that we have, and if you don't, do the Hail Marys and do the sign of the cross and the up and down, then the popes will get mad and the parishioners will get angry. And how dare you disrespect our fanfare and rituals? Because that's all it really is. It's statist ritual. It's worship
it's
of
idolatry.
the state. It's idolatry. And because of the fact Kaepernick wouldn't get in on it, even though the taxpayer was paying hundreds of thousands of dollars for it, people got all mad. Because in all honesty, America, it's not just the Libertarian Party, what I was talking about earlier today in social media. America itself has become a group of people that they demand that we virtue signal in one of two directions. And if you're in the middle and you think both sides are stupid, then you're a Nazi and a communist at the same time. And that's where we are. Either you virtue signal to the American state religion and you virtue signal to the nationalist patriotards who are like, oh, if you don't love my flag, I'll beat you up.
Smiths.
And then your other option is rent is theft, property is theft, every man is a misogynist, every white person is a racist. And if you're in the middle and you're like, no, I think both of you are stupid, then you are...
So America is like Matt Kuehnel or Josh Smith?
Basically, yeah. And the rest of the normal people in the middle, we don't get to have an opinion because your choices are idiot on this extreme, idiot on that extreme. And if you don't pick one of the extremes, then you automatically are both. Because the people on one extreme go, well, if you're not with me, then you're with them. No, I think you're both idiots. No, it doesn't work that way. You're either on my side or you're the enemy. And the same thing with the Trump tards. You're either a flag worshiping bootlicker who loves the government and can't wait to get your own police rape. Then you're a communist. And that's your choices. You're either with us or you're a Muslim communist Mexican transgender who hates America. And that's where we are. What are you? What are you, Chelsea?
What am I?
What are you? Do you support Trump?
No? I support the things that he does.
It's kind of like the Wizard
You're
of Oz.
You're a communist.
Good witch or
communist.
Bad witch.
You hate women.
And you can't say I'm not a witch at all.
Wait. No, but I am a woman. I don't think it works that way.
You hate women.
Oh, okay. I guess
you hate women.
Plenty
they should
of
take
women.
away
the
your
Republican
vagina.
Women are self-hating misogynists. Remember?
They should
Plenty
take
of
away.
women are.
They
Plenty
should
of
take
women
away your right to have a vagina.
Oh, God.
They're revoking your vagina card.
A woman literally.
I don't think any of the three of us can do that. I'm sorry, Arya. That's like one of the things you can't do. I don't think.
Well, Linda Sarsour revoked Ayaan Hirsi Ali's vagina. She said that Ayaan Hirsi Ali isn't allowed to have a vagina anymore. I mean, she's stupid, but both of them are stupid. But you don't just get to say, oh, well, you know what? You're a man now. We're sewing up your coochie because I disagree with you.
Since time began, tyrants have taken aim at personal liberties. Now there's a movie that aims back.
The government has no more right to tell us what to put in our bodies than they have to take our guns or tell us what books we can read.
6 drug police were eaten by bears while raiding a marijuana farm.
On your knees, you dirty hippies! Jesus. On your knees! What's the problem, officer?
Today, many cops who enforce pot laws do so only because it provides them with cushy jobs, good benefits, and a chance to push people around.
I was an undercover narcotics officer. The drug war is nothing but a farce.
The Second Amendment says you gotta keep you and your gat intact.
Guns and Weed, The Road to Freedom. A film by Michael W. Dean and Nima Vadadi.
DVD available now at gunsandweed.com or on Amazon. That's gunsandweed.com. Makes the perfect gift. Remember, that's gunsandweed.com.
Did you know you can listen to LRN.FM via our free-to-air satellite channels? We have channels over nearly all of North America and much of Africa. All you need is an affordable receiver and a dish as small as 30 inches. There are no monthly fees. Learn more at sat.lrn.fm. Plus, if you are a broadcaster or want to be one, this is a good delivery method for our content. See our coverage maps and get details at sat.lrn.fm. That's sat.lrn.fm. sat.lrn.fm.
So you've signed the Shire Society Declaration and are planning your move to New Hampshire to be around more liberty-oriented people. Next, sign up for the Shire Society Forum at forum.shiresociety.com. There are a bunch of people there who are already in the Shire, and they want to meet you. If you're already in the Shire physically, you should also come by the forums. Remember, not everyone uses Facebook. New people are signing up for the Shire Society Forum every month, so drop in and say hello at forum.shiresociety.com.
More of the Call to Freedom is coming up next, live after the news on the Liberty Radio Network at LRN.FM.
From Keene in the Shire, the Liberty Media capital of the world, this is Daryl W. Perry, host of FPP Radio News for Wednesday, May 23rd, 2018. Silver is trading at $16.47 per ounce. Gold is valued at $1,294 per ounce. Zencash is trading at $37, and the average price of Bitcoin is $7,876. Antiwar.com reports at least 55 people were killed and scores of others wounded in a series of Taliban attacks across Afghanistan, starting with a double suicide bombing on Monday morning in the capital city of Kabul. The strikes hit near NATO headquarters. 25 were killed and 45 wounded in Kabul. In the neighboring Ghazni province, the Taliban carried out attacks on police forces, killing at least 14 police, including a district commander, and wounding 12 others. They stormed several checkpoints. Further south in Kandahar, security forces found a van packed with explosives. They failed to defuse it, and the ensuing explosion killed at least 16 people and wounded 38 others. Officials say they also recovered weapons and suicide vests in the same area and believe the militants were planning a big attack against shoppers near the end of Ramadan. The Taliban's attacks are on the increase because of the spring offensive. They are believed to have been responsible for the Kabul and Ghazni attacks. Though there has yet to be any claim of responsibility for the Kandahar deaths, that city is the Taliban's homeland.
For over 40 years, Roberts & Roberts Brokerage has been a trusted source for buying and selling precious metals like gold and silver. And as a Bitcoin-preferred business, Roberts & Roberts Brokerage has removed the minimum purchase amount for all orders paid in the digital currency. Call Roberts & Roberts Brokerage today for knowledgeable advice on buying and selling precious metals and a forward-thinking approach to new technologies. 800-874-9760 or visit online at rrbi.co.
UPI reports the American Civil Liberties Union demanded Amazon stop marketing facial recognition technology to government agencies, citing possible civil rights violations. The ACLU Foundations of California released emails Tuesday between Amazon and law enforcement agencies in Orlando, Florida, and the Washington County Sheriff's Office in Oregon regarding the facial recognition technology called Rekognition, which is powered by artificial intelligence. The team of 3 ACLU affiliates in California said in a release of the 147 pages of documents, which includes the emails, reveals how Amazon and its subsidiary, Amazon Web Services, marketed the facial recognition technology to law enforcement agencies. The document release capped a 6-month investigation into how Amazon has helped agencies deploy the technology. The ACLU Foundations of California said it objects to Amazon's marketing of Rekognition to these agencies based on privacy concerns and the potential for discriminatory abuse. It sent a letter Tuesday to Amazon CEO Jeff Bezos demanding his company stop marketing the product to government agencies. Tuesday's letter to Bezos said people should be free to walk down the street without being watched by the government. Facial recognition in American communities threatens this freedom. In over-policed communities of color, it could effectively eliminate it. A spokesperson for Amazon Web Services defended the company in a statement to The Hill. The spokesperson said, Amazon requires that customers comply with the law and be responsible for when they use AWS services. When we find that AWS services are being abused by a customer, we suspend that customer's rights to use our services. The spokesperson added, our quality of life would be much worse today if we outlawed new technology because some people could choose to abuse the technology. Imagine if customers couldn't buy a computer because it was possible to use the computer for illegal purposes. Tuesday's letter, also signed by other ACLU chapters and several other activist organizations that focus on defending constitutional rights, civil rights, and human rights, such as the Center for Media Justice, Color of Change, and Human Rights Watch. Malkia Cyrell, executive director of the Center for Media Justice, said in the release, we already know that facial recognition algorithms discriminate against black faces and are being used to violate human rights of immigrants.
You can support FPP Radio by joining the FANS program. To learn more or to join the FANS program, visit fans.fppradio.com.
Reuters reports pirate attacks around South American and Caribbean waters are growing and violence is increasingly used during robberies committed on vessels at anchor, according to a report released on Wednesday. The Oceans Beyond Piracy nonprofit group recorded 71 incidents in Latin America and the Caribbean in 2017, an increase of 163% from 2016. They said the majority of attacks occurred in territorial waters, with around 59% of the incidents involving robbery on yachts. Venezuela, St. Vincent and the Grenadines, Colombia, and St. Lucia were the regional hotspots during 2017. This has been FPP Radio News, online at fppradio.com.
After decades of searching the cosmos, today NASA announced that what it was really looking for was right here on planet Earth all along.
For years, we've foolishly chased after comets, moons, and stars. Outer space may be beautiful, but it's not as beautiful as the smile of a child, nor as sublime as a good bottle of wine shared among friends. Our search ends where it began, here on this big blue marble.
Astronomers say that while their telescopes were pointing at Mars, they never even noticed the planet that was right in front of them. NASA now plans to appreciate what they already have. The agency's latest report, entitled Wonder is Everywhere, Finding the Beauty in the Everyday, calls for further study of the little things that truly give life meaning.
Warm rain on a summer day, the smell of pine trees, touching the worn paper of your favorite book, that's what's always made us happy, not some asteroid a million miles away.
This is the Onion News Network.
The Call to Freedom is an opinion show. It's meant for informational purposes only. It is not licensed financial advice. It is very important to do your own analysis before making any investment based on your own personal circumstances. You should take independent financial advice from a professional in connection with or independently research and verify any information that you hear from the Call of Freedom and wish to rely upon, whether for the purpose of making an investment decision or otherwise. I mean, come on, guys. Duh. It's a cryptocurrency investment and a political talk radio. Of course, it's opinions.
Hold. Hold. Hold!
You better hold on for dear life, because it's time for the Crypto Hour, brought to you by Helium.com, on the Call to Freedom.
Well, welcome here to the Crypto Hour here on the Call to Freedom here on LRN.FM. It's our live Thursday night broadcast here on the show. And, well, we've got some news we're going to bring to you today. This is coming from, where'd it go? Oh, this coming from independent.co.uk.
Bitcoin mania seems to have gripped the world as the digital currency's price has reached astronomical levels. 7 years ago, you could buy one Bitcoin for 10 cents. Now it will cost you more than $10,000. But what exactly is Bitcoin, and why has its price gone so high? Put simply, it's a digital currency that can be used to buy and sell things, but it's got some key differences from real cash. First of all, there are no coins and no notes. Bitcoin exists only online.
Well,
Secondly,
that right there, the only exists online and no central bank, was the reasoning behind a number of stories that came out in the last few months about how state-sponsored and employed or bank-sponsored and employed scholars in Muslim countries had declared cryptocurrency was forbidden. Then after that, a number of stories came out where scholars who were not connected to banks or state-owned or run entities, that cryptocurrency was perfectly permissible. Well, that has encouraged a mosque in London to prove that the Independent and most other mainstream media outlets don't have the ability to use Google. Oh, I mean, they're thought to be the first mosque in the world to accept Bitcoin donations.
Well, that's the joke there is that we'll beat them to it.
By 6 months, yeah. This article coming out 5 hours ago. According to the Independent.uk, a London mosque is the first mosque in the world to accept Bitcoin
that's such
donations.
An insult.
Not true, even the slightest.
You accept Ethereum as well.
I don't just, I accept like 9 different cryptocurrencies at the Malik Center. We collect zakat on multiple cryptocurrencies. We have actually just a few days ago, before this article came out, posted the Bitcoin address for the zakat fund for this year's zakat for any Muslims out there, because zakat is paid on your cryptocurrencies. You would pay if you had more than $3,000 worth of cryptocurrencies for the entirety of a 12-month period from last Ramadan to this Ramadan, you would give 2.735% of that to either a zakat-eligible charity, or you could give it to the homeless yourself, which is what I love about the way, quote-unquote, taxes in Islam works, is that zakat isn't collected by a state. Zakat, you go to the person and you go to the charity and say, I don't know any homeless people to give this to them for me. Or you go directly to the homeless person yourself and say, hey, homeless person, let me help you out. Or even better, what was well known among the Turks back in the day was they would go to town and they would go into the markets and they would talk to the market owners and they would say, hey, who here that has a debt with you has the most need? And the rich would pay the debts of the poor at the markets. So like if you could run a note of credit at a grocery store, and during Ramadan, those notes of credit would all be paid. Now, people wouldn't not pay their bills all year just so they could get away with it during Ramadan. But those who were seen as the most in need, local wealthy people, as a way to pay their zakat, would go buy their debt. I think it's a beautiful way of helping people. Because you know what you're doing. You know you're helping someone feed their family if you're going and paying their debt at the grocery store. Anyway, this Shacklewell Lane Mosque in Hackney announced that it's hoping to raise...
Did anyone contact The Independent to correct them?
I have. I've not gotten any response from them yet. I also contacted telegram.uk because they also ran this story. And every single cryptocurrency website that we use, as well as many others, I contacted about 40 different cryptocurrency websites today and was like, look, this is an incorrect story. There were mosques. We aren't even the first. There was actually a mosque in Europe that was doing it before us. So, do you guys know how to Google?
You were the first to
all you had to do was Google
Bitcoin
and mosque. Just Google the word Bitcoin and mosque together, and you got 8 articles showing that they weren't the first. So Telegram just does their writer just didn't really do very much due diligence before claiming first in the world. It says here, we're trying to appeal to a wider audience with the new money. Erkin Gurney, the chairman of the board of trustees, told the Hackney Gazette, it's big in the Islamic world, and we have set up a platform for wealthier Muslims outside our community to support and donate to our mosque.
Arya, are you laughing at the name Erkin Gurney?
No, I'm laughing at Hackneyed Gazette.
Yeah, I know. It's hilarious. Yes. Last month, Muhammad Abu Bakr of Blossom Finance.
Accidentally accurate.
Yeah, right. Let's see here. They've so far only received one donation worth about £100, so about $200 at today's prices. Which puts them right on key with the other mosque in Europe that raised almost nothing. Our masjid to date has raised at least $10,000 in cryptocurrencies. At least. We just put a new floor in that was paid for with Ethereum that was sent by a donor in Pakistan. His father passed away, and he wanted to honor his father by donating. He's like, what is something that your mosque needs? And I was like, well, we need new cabinets, and we need a new floor in the kitchen and a new floor in the nursery. And those are the smaller. I mean, like I first I told him like the bigger ones, because we have some things that we need to do that are going to cost us $3,500 to $10,000. And he was like, smaller than that. And I was like, well, we need this and this, and this is going to cost about this, and this is going to be $900. And he was like, that's what I want to do. Let me buy this book and put in that floor. And I was like, all right. And they sent me, boom. A couple minutes later, I had $900 worth of Ethereum in the wallet, cashed it out, went and bought the flooring, put a new floor in. That quick, that easy. And that was in February or January. So, and this just came out 5 hours ago. The Independent has a Bitcoin group on Facebook, and it's the best place to follow the latest discussion and developments in cryptocurrency. I'm going to have to contest that point at this very moment. Wouldn't you say? The best place to find out.
I mean, if they can't figure out whether or not someone is first at something, it's probably not a good source of information.
Yeah. Well, CoinDesk, Cointelegraph, Bitcoin.com, all of them ran this story.
Well, we need the Bitcoin.com sub.
Anyway, we'll be back with more of today's crypto news when we get right back on the Call to Freedom.
The new 4th edition of Healing Our World, The Compassion of Libertarianism, will take your understanding of liberty to a deeper level and has over 1,300 updated references, new cartoons, and a foreword by Dr. Ron Paul. With discounts for multiple book purchases, the 4th edition of Healing Our World is a great gift for the liberals, pragmatists, environmentalists, and Christians in your life who think libertarianism is cold-hearted. Get yours today at healing.freetalklive.com and use promo code FTL for a $5 discount.
The Shire Free Church offers a sanctuary to those seeking an escape from state churches.
The Shire Free Church is an interfaith, diverse group of people that may not share identical theological beliefs. As a member in or minister of the Shire Free Church, you are a sovereign individual and may be the faith of your choice.
We don't claim to have all of the answers.
We are open to all peaceful people.
We want to learn from each other.
What unifies the Shire Free Church and its diverse members is peace,
love, and liberty. There are many paths to God, one for every individual.
The Shire Free Church does not define a specific path beyond those parameters that must be your foundation.
Peace as your way,
love as your guide,
and liberty as your light.
Learn more at church.shiresociety.com.
That's church.shiresociety.com.
Here's a chance to do a little activism while you're cruising Facebook, Twitter, or Google+. Between the LOL cats, the recipes, the hot girls, and the inspirational sunrise memes, Free Talk Live's posts pass by your newsfeed. Like them, comment. It gives us more exposure. If you don't see our posts, click like at facebook.freetalklive.com and then hover over it to click Get Notifications. It's an easy way to spread the ideas of liberty a bit further. I know you're busy, but you can spare that 1/10 of a calorie it takes to click on something. facebook.freetalklive.com.
Cell 411 is a free app for Android and iOS that replaces government-controlled 911. Cell 411 allows you to preset a group of friends or private organizations to show up at any emergency. Cell 411 is a nightmare for the state because it proves their so-called services aren't needed. Cell 411 has had thousands of installs, and of course it's covered by the BIPCOT no government license. Cell 411 because your friends won't shoot you when you're in trouble. Without the government, who would build the emergency services? You and Cell 411. Get it today at getcell411.com.
Now that you've found the Liberty Radio Network at LRN.FM, you may want to help expose others to our great programs. To assist you in doing so, you'll find resources at promote.lrn.fm, including details on how to get a free bumper sticker, quarter-page flyers you can print out and distribute, banners for your website, as well as files that will allow you to make your own custom banners and graphics. Visit promote.lrn.fm and help bring new listeners to the Liberty Radio Network. That's promote.lrn.fm.
Why did you move to the Shire?
I moved here to the Shire because there's other people around who take liberty just as seriously as I do.
I moved to the Shire because I saw videos of people challenging authority and thought that I could get support myself. It called to me, like, do this right now.
I wanted to be around people like me who got it. And once I got here, I knew there was nowhere else that I wanted to be.
I've always wanted to change the world. So I moved to the Shire to join people who were actually working towards doing the same thing.
The people here are awesome, loving, and positive. It was for the adventure and for the feeling of something important is happening here, and I just wanted to come to sort of be part of that.
Visit shiresociety.com to read and sign the Shire Society Declaration and learn the reasons why, if you love liberty, you should immigrate to the Shire. Plus, add yourself to the Shire map at shiresociety.com. That's shiresociety.com.
You can put the Liberty Radio Network on the air in your area. Visit broadcast.lrn.fm to learn how. Broadcast.lrn.fm.
You are listening to the Crypto Hour on the Call to Freedom.
تستمتعون إلى The Crypto Hour على برنامج نداء للحرية.
All right, welcome back here to the Call to Freedom here on LRN.FM. So we're broadcasting live from the Zencash studio right here in beautiful Keene, New Hampshire. And I'm wondering, are you wanting to get bought into the crypto industry? Have you been watching from the sidelines and just haven't had a chance to get in? Well, let me tell you about Helium.com. It's a savings accelerator brought to you via Uphold.com. And, well, what it does is it watches the values between multiple cryptos and fiat currencies, and then it moves your money when the timing is just right. It's really, really simple. You just load your account up via a crypto wallet or your bank card, and then you just set it and forget it. It's like a crock pot for cryptocurrencies. It's completely automatic. Helium. It lets your money move you. So go on over and check out their new version 2. With all new upgrades, new coins, new safety features, and new minimums. Again, that's helium.com, HELEUM.com/CTF for a great deal as a thank you for being a Call to Freedom listener. So anybody that's paying attention to the crypto markets has seen that south is the direction that many things have been moving. And, well, that seems to be the albatross of Bitcoin hanging around all of the altcoins' necks that pulls them down. Bitcoin drops and, well, then so does everything else. Trading on the defensive today, having dropped 16% over the last 3 days. Bitcoin was changing hands at one point in time today at $7,200, down 6.5% just in 24 hours. And that could extend the slide further to $7,000 within the next 24 hours. Some market analysts are actually saying they expect the bearish trend to push all the way down to $5,000 by the end of June before finally starting a rebound.
That's what I said 3 months ago.
Some people are hoping will carry us in excess of $25,000 by the time of the same peak last year at just under $20,000. Cryptocurrency.
Yeah, it's not going to hit 25,000 this year. It's going to fall down to at least 5K. It might get back up to 8K or 9K by the end of the year, but it's not going anywhere near 25 grand again. I mean, Bitcoin, it peaked. It had its moment in the sun of everybody paying attention to it, and then it crashed, and a lot of people turned away from it permanently. I was talking to a friend last night who did that. He knows nothing about cryptocurrency. He's not a libertarian or anything like that, but he bought Bitcoin during the height of its popularity and the height of its value. And he sold, and he has no interest in ever getting back into it.
See, that's
and his
funny,
story is similar to thousands, millions being told across the world right now.
I know people that it's the opposite, that they didn't get in. They understand the way that markets go up and down, and they bought their first Bitcoin yesterday. They were disappointed because they didn't come and ask me. They were like, we should have came to ask you if you had any way of finding it, because we paid a lot of extra money on top of the spot price. And I was like, well,
there's certainly still plenty who are interested in getting into it.
Yeah. And this is like a wealthy Indian doctor, so it's not like he's not got money. You know, like these aren't just your average. And he voted for Hillary. You know, so
ew.
Yeah, well, I mean, but it's just he's just your average immigrant son. You know, like dad's parents are immigrants. I own my own business now. You know, like he's just like that normal success story that you hear, American success story. And he's like, you know what? I want to get into crypto. He's asking me. So, what other coins besides Bitcoin do you like? What are you interested in? And of course, I'm like, you know, Zencash. Right now, especially since it's down a little bit. Anyway, it says here yesterday.
I mean, everything is down. I'm looking forward to buying more Litecoin in another week or two.
Says this is the lowest daily close since April the 12th, and it looked over Sol as per the relative strength index in the hourly and 4-hour chart. A resulting corrective rally ran into offers above $7,700 earlier today, and then prices fell to a 6-week low at around 8:30 UTC. What UTC? That's
Universal Time.
Something, yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
The failure on the part of the bulls to produce a notable corrective rally despite oversold conditions indicates that bearish sentiment is still holding strong. The downside break of the bear flag, well, it continued a pattern indicating that the minor corrective rally from the low of 7,400 has ended and that Bitcoin could drop to $7,000. The 50-hour, 100-hour, and 200-hour moving averages are biased to the bears, and meanwhile the relative strength index has dropped close to the oversold region. But it's still holding just above the lows seen yesterday, indicating that there's enough room still for a drop to 7,000. Again, this is not the worst either of what I'm seeing from a lot of, and these aren't like Warren Buffett folk. These are crypto traders. These are people that like they've spent the last 5 years of their lives, 6 years of their lives being investors in the crypto community and saying, here's a trend. It's a trend that was happening then. It's a trend that looks like it's happening now. So buy and buckle up because, you know, sunny skies are coming, but they're not coming today. When we get back, we'll continue. Oh, no, we won't because I'm doing it again. Let's see. I did it again, almost. And I did. I totally did. All right, well, when we get back here in a little while, Coinbase, turns out, is rebranding their crypto exchange services. What that means and what it means for you, we'll get into when we get back here in just a moment, here on The Call to Freedom on LRN.FM.
Strangest I can find, laid my proposition down, laid it on the line. I won't slave for beggars' pay, likewise gold and jewels, but I would slave to learn the way, sink your ship of fools, ship of fools, on a cruel sea, ship of sail away from me. It was.
So the protection of life, liberty, and property is what the Free State Project is all about. But it's an effort to move 20,000 people who understand.
It's about demonstrating to the entire country
that, yeah, we can have a free market, a truly free market. Making it just a freer, great place to live.
It's the world's largest voluntarist libertarian community, and it's only getting bigger.
That's amazing, to be able to move to a place where other people like passionately believe in being free and independent.
What the Free State Project is managing to do, though, is to put their money where their mouth is. It's physically getting up across the country and saying, let's go someplace and let's demonstrate the power of these ideas. There's a lot of kind of philosophy that surrounds liberty. There's a lot of thinking about it and talking about it. But here in New Hampshire, people are doing it.
101 Reasons Liberty Lives in New Hampshire, a documentary by Free State Project Early Movers. Watch it free at 101reasonsfilm.com. 101reasonsfilm.com.
We've all heard about blockchain assets like Dogecoin, Ether, and Ripple. Bitcoin isn't the only player in the blockchain game any longer. And for those of us wondering how to get our hands on these digital assets, finally, there's a solution. Shapeshift.io allows you to buy and sell between your digital assets and Bitcoin instantly between your own digital wallets. I've used it with ease. Shapeshift.io. There's no account or email address needed. You send them the crypto you want to sell. They send back the crypto you want to buy. It's that easy. Shapeshift.io.
If you're looking for work, the person you are applying to is probably so swamped with applicants that he or she is tough to reach. So call early in the day, before 8 a.m., before the palace guards arrive. You'll need your prospect's direct number, and here's a sneaky way to get it. Suppose the company's main number is 555-5000. You should call 555-5012. When someone says, "Good morning, Pam Johnson," you should innocently say, "Oops, somebody here must have written this down wrong. I was calling for Tom Frederick. What's his direct number?" If the very next thing you hear isn't Pam giving you Tom's number, it may be, "Good morning, Tom Frederick." For more tips for job seekers and getting better results in all your day-to-day communication, hit survivalspeech.com. I'm Holland Cook.
LRN.FM is proud to announce our official listening apps for Android and iOS devices. Now you can easily tune into our streams anywhere, anytime on your smartphone or tablet. Just visit apps.lrn.fm or search for LRN.FM in the Android or Apple app stores. Please download, rate us 5 stars, then share the link on your social media and let your friends and family know how you're listening to LRN.FM. Download it now, free at apps.lrn.fm.
Free Talk Live.
Who is playing dress up as a guess?
Superhero.
Ninja.
Yeah.
A border ninja.
See, that would be the problem. Somebody else would dress up like a pirate, and then there would be a war.
Yeah. Just the pirates duking it out.
Wait, well, what do the pirates have against ninjas?
Ninjas and pirates are like matter and antimatter. They can't be together.
Okay.
I have a feeling the ninjas would just whoop it up on the pirates.
Are you kidding? Pirates. Pirates, man.
Oh, the pirates do have cannons. They have the long-range attack ability, but once you get in close...
It's hard to be tougher than a pirate, though.
The pirates are certainly tough, but the agility I don't think is there.
Lose
they sit around on a
lose
ship
a
all day.
hand, lose a leg, you can still get 200 people to be afraid of you as you stomp around with half of your, an eye patch, one hand, one leg. You stomp around half a person, and you're still commanding 200 people.
Free Talk Live, 7 nights a week from 7 to 10 Eastern, live on the Liberty Radio Network at LRN.FM. Help get LRN.FM into more ears. Visit promote.lrn.fm for a free bumper sticker, flyers, banners, graphics, and more. Promote.lrn.fm.
You are listening to Call to Freedom's Crypto Hour, brought to you by Helium.com. आप सुन रहे हैं स्वतंत्रता की पुकार के क्रिप्टो आवर को, जिसके प्रस्तुत करता है Helium.com.
Back here to the Call to Freedom here on LRN.FM. We're broadcasting live from the Vertcoin studio right here in beautiful Keene, New Hampshire. Screw Vertcoin. From the Zencast studio, rather, here in beautiful Keene, New Hampshire. And
like our friends at Vertcoin.
Did you see Vertcoin's down to like $1 and something now? Their coin has done nothing but lose value since
It's what happens when you drop us as sponsors. Or when you stop sponsoring us, whatever.
Well, I think it's just that, like, you had national marketing, and now all of a sudden and that was, like, helping. And now you don't, and now that little bit of help that was keeping the coin over $2.50 is gone, and you have Vertcoin down to, I don't know, like $1.80 $1.85 the last time I looked, and I think it's still going down. Oh, $1.88. Ooh, they've rebounded a little bit. But yeah, and it's
I'm so glad I sold it when you first sent it to us, and it was like, what, $8 a piece?
$8 a coin, yeah. Well, we had some that we held on to.
That could have sucked.
Because I wanted to keep like a little emergency around for.
Well, I held on to 4 Vert coins
for the faucet, and then the faucet part on their end, you know, the like strong community that was going to keep us with enough Vert coin to give some away on the show on a regular basis. It just didn't really happen. So like, we would get enough to give away 1 week, and then we wouldn't get any more ever. Really? You know, like we got sent some to promote VertPig, and we got with VertPig's developers and the VertCoin developers, and that it literally just sat in the wallet. Because we couldn't do that promotional effort because it was like
they didn't want us to or something, right?
Yeah, they didn't want us to. They didn't want us to do it yet. And when they were ready for us to do it, they would get back to us. And that just never happened. Even after I went to them, I tried to get some of the VertCoin developers hooked up with a spot speaking at PorcFest. And they didn't respond.
Oh, man, that would have been awesome.
It would have, but I asked them.
I mean, they could have been on the crypto panel with us.
It was 6 weeks before someone responded. And by then, there were no spaces
left.
Is
their organization just kind of falling apart? I mean, that's kind of what it sounds like.
Well, I asked about contract renewal in the same letter. You know what I'm saying? And then when they finally got back to me, they were like, we don't want to continue the contract, but we do want the speaking gig. And I was like, well, that would have been great if you'd responded to me 6 weeks ago when I offered it to you and someone was asking me if you wanted it, because now no one's asking me if you want it.
6 weeks is a long time.
The event's all booked. All the speaking slots are taken. You know, I can't go in and be like, hey, those guys that you told me to ask you about, that I came to you and said, hey, can you do me a favor and get them a slot? Could you do me an even bigger favor and kick someone off that had the respect and decency to contact you back in a timely manner? Could you kick one of them off stage and put this other guy on stage? So, I mean, I'm not going to do that. So,
and I mean, that's not, the whole thing is really unfortunate because VertCoin had such, has such a good idea and good philosophy and good people.
I know. I love the community. It just something, I don't know. Maybe we weren't a good fit. You know,
it just sounds like something is not right within their community or within their organization. Maybe James is too busy with freaking MIT. You know?
Right.
That'll happen.
I mean, he's like a genius, but he's not a robot. You have to admit. He's like, he may be one of the smartest guys in the crypto industry, but he's still a human being, you know? You can only, you can only do so much. And Adderall, which I'm not insinuating that he uses or anything, but even if he did, that only does so much as well, you know? Like, people can only do so much before their body goes...
I'm on it, and I barely make it through the show.
Right?
Come on. He's sitting there trying to go through MIT. I mean, I just do this and practice law and occasionally play Magic the Gathering, and that's it.
Have you got an Xbox One?
No. Because there's not enough.
Who plays an
Xbox? There's not enough games that I could play with my kids for current gen systems. That's the problem. We're looking at around Christmas time getting a Switch.
I don't believe that.
But
No. Because my wife and I, we have kids that are their age, and they're
but yours is
you got older kids, much older kids.
No, my daughters don't play. My sons are 7 and 8. They're and 4. And
my girls are 6 and 4.
Okay, so a game like
and they're girls.
But that doesn't mean anything.
Well, I mean, Tom is right, though, that, Mario games and Mario Kart and stuff like that is going to appeal to kids.
Yeah, my kids are dying for a Switch because of these, and these are actually really kind of brilliant. All these shows that are on the kids channels on Amazon and on not YouTube, but on
have partnered
Hulu
with
and Netflix.
Nintendo to market the crap out of things to your children.
Yeah,
That's
I mean,
not brilliant.
it's basically just no. It's just people playing video games and showing the kids the video games, and you know they'll watch some and they'll be like, "This game's not
Let's
fun."
Plays,
but some they're great. Yeah, and it's not just dudes playing it like you would find on a lot of Twitch channels. It's like
girls, kids,
it's
families.
Ziggy the zebra. You never actually see the guy, but they tell the kids it's a zebra playing the video game, and that's enough for the kids to get interested.
Yeah.
Like, Dad, it's a freaking zebra, and he's playing Mario. I want to play
kids
Mario.
do the same
I want to
thing.
be a zebra.
My kids watch other kids play Minecraft with their dad.
Yeah.
On video.
Minecraft too. Minecraft
on Amazon. Like we have Amazon, and on Amazon there are videos, Minecraft videos, and it's just guys playing Minecraft with their kids.
You know what somebody should do? Somebody should do a video of them playing Minecraft, making a cryptocurrency on Minecraft, and then it would actually be relevant to this segment. And it would make sense that we're talking about this.
Right.
Instead of
anyway, the actual story that we've spent this entire segment not covering is Coinbase has announced Wednesday that it's launching a new version of its GDAX platform called Coinbase Pro, and then acquiring crypto trading relay platform Paradex. The new platform seeks to, quote, make the trading experience easier and more intuitive. According to the startup, other features include a new chart system which provides streamlined access to historical data and a consolidated portfolio view. Beyond simply trading assets, Coinbase Pro aims to provide a host of new features for investors, according to the release, which reads, quote, our vision is to give customers the ability to participate in services like staking and protocol voting that are distinct to crypto. As the decentralized ecosystem advances, we expect there will be many more opportunities for customers to interact with digital assets in new and unique ways. Now, I'm totally loving this, except for one fact. It's being done by Coinbase. Am I the only one that feels that way?
I think Coinbase serves their purpose.
Well, they're an entry drug, but the problem is that entry drug it's like heroin. You know, if your entry drug to using drugs is heroin, it's not a good entry drug. Coinbase, I don't find a good entry because it automatically hooks your crypto accounts to the very state that crypto itself is trying to undermine. It makes no sense.
When you hear the word lobbyist, you probably think about greedy corporations, but not all lobbyists are the same. Some are fighting for the freedoms you hold dear. Liberty Lobby LLC is doing just that in New Hampshire, working hard to represent you, not some special interest group. You can help by going to libertylobby.info, where your contribution will give us the tools we need to ensure that your voice is heard. Visit libertylobby.info today to find out more.
Is spreading the message of liberty, cryptocurrency, and peace around the globe worth $2 per month to you? As you may already know, in addition to our internet feed, LRN.FM broadcasts on free-to-air satellite across North and Central America, as well as Sub-Saharan Africa. And we've been available on satellite for free 24/7 since 2010. The LRN.FM free-to-air satellite signal is reaching some of the most oppressive regimes in the world, and there's no doubt our ideas are making an impact. You can learn more about the channel's impact by watching the 3-minute video at fund.lrn.fm. If you'd like to help free minds globally with our ideas of liberty, cryptocurrency, and peace, you can donate as little as $2 per month via fund.lrn.fm. You can help us continue and expand our satellite broadcast to multiple continents. Visit fund.lrn.fm today, and thank you for your help. Don't forget to share the link on social media. That's fund.lrn.fm. There are lots of ways to listen to Free Talk Live. Our podcast has been around since podcasts began, and now the FTL feed is loaded with content besides our full show archives. Did you know that we make it easy for you to customize your podcast subscriptions? We have different feeds, one that includes only our full shows, one with just the Daily Digest, and one with just the Edgington Post. You decide what you listen to. It's quick and easy to customize your feeds at feeds.freetalklive.com. That's feeds.freetalklive.com.
Hi, this is Mark Edge of Free Talk Live. Michael W. Dean's book, User's Manual for the Human Experience, changed my life. In a culture that attempts to turn you into a compliant victim, this book gives you implementable steps on everything from how to be aware of your environment, walking down the street, to business, to how to handle a toxic person in your life. If you're a human, you need to read this book at least once. Go to Amazon and get the Kindle version, or paperback, or an audiobook of A User's Manual for the Human Experience.
LRN.FM now has a Discord. Discord is a free text and voice chat platform, and we now have our own server with a bunch of channels at discord.lrn.fm. You can join other listeners as they chat about various things during our live shows, or anytime, day or night. Discord software is available cross-platform, so you can have it on whatever device you want and take your chats anywhere. Join our Discord at discord.lrn.fm. That's discord.lrn.fm.
Hi, I'm Derek J. I don't want a politician to represent me. To me, government is the idea that one group of people can coerce everyone to comply with an edict, or face increasing punishments up to and including death. Despite perhaps the most noble of intentions, the best government services are a far cry from what could be provided for by voluntary interactions. Besides, the people who call themselves the government wage wars and put peaceful people in jail for crimes involving no victims. If Starbucks used some of its money to drop bombs, I wouldn't shop there. So why would I support the American empire? The empire does not require my consent.
Derek J's Victimless Crime Spree. Watch it for free and order the Director's Cut DVD at victimlesscrimespree.com. That's victimlesscrimespree.com.
Some of our live shows are streamed in HD on Twitch. Please follow and share at twitch.lrn.fm. That's twitch.lrn.fm.
You are listening to the Crypto Hour on the Call to Freedom, brought to you by Helium.com. Unasikiliza Crypto Hour inayohusu wito wa uhuru, imeletwa kwako na Helium.com.
All right, welcome back here to the final segment of this afternoon's Crypto Hour here on the Call to Freedom on LRN.FM. I want to let you know we're going to be hosting the Crypto Hour at PorcFest this year on Friday afternoon at 2 p.m. We're going to be doing Crypto Hour open mic kind of thing. Basically, what's your favorite thing in the crypto industry and what's your favorite coin and why? Open mic type thing. We're going to be hosting at PorcFest this year. I was asked by the organizers just a couple days ago. They said, so we want to put together a open mic discussion, a panel group about cryptocurrency, and we would like for you and Aria to moderate it. And I was like, oh, so you want us to do the Crypto Hour live and on stage? And then they were like, well, it's 45 minutes. And I was like, oh, Crypto Hour live and on stage it is. Because that's about how long.
Because they weren't familiar with breaks.
Yeah, exactly. Because
like,
the crypto.
Well, we don't have a whole hour. We only have 45 minutes. Well, let me tell you something about radio.
Yeah, exactly. So, exactly. Crypto Hour live and on stage. So, yeah, if you want to see that, please join us at the Porcupine Freedom Festival in just a few weeks. Go over to their website and enter coupon code CTF10 in order to get 10% off your entire order. That includes VIP tickets, vending station, everything. 10% off for using the CTF10 coupon code when you check out. So moving right along, we were having a discussion about Coinbase and how they're not crypto. Coinbase and how they're launching a new platform. They've bought out Paradex, and they're going to integrate Paradex support over the next few weeks, which will enable users to trade hundreds of tokens directly from their wallets, according to the new press release. Initially, this experience is for our customers outside the U.S., but it will be available to U.S. customers as soon as we get done kissing the government's ass. Sucking the government's. Obtain regulatory.
Getting some bukkake from the government.
Obtaining regulatory clearance, which we're actively working toward.
Somehow we were more relevant to crypto when we were talking about video games.
It's not an episode of Call to Freedom if nobody mentions bukkake at least once.
Or at least how Coinbase is taking it up the rear from the government and just talking about how, oh, it's so good, the big green one, I love it.
Well, that's a cream pie, not bukkake.
Green? What? Wait a minute. No. Oh, I hope
Screw Coinbase, man. When you're so crypto that you're like, we're only going to do this for our non-American customers until we get done giving the American government a sufficient handy. Paradox enables investors.
Hey, who doesn't like a good reach around?
This is so going in the next promo. Initially, this experience is for our customers. Oh, wait, never mind. I'm stuck on the government. I just can't get past that. My eyes just won't go past that paragraph. Paradox enables investors to trade ERC20 tokens directly from their digital token wallets by acting as a relay for transfers. Oh, that means you can buy Drama Coin now on Coinbase, even though I've never done that willingly. Let's see here. Hardware wallets, notably the Ledger wallet, are supported as well. In order to transfer Ethereum tokens, the system requires users to turn them into wrapped Ether, which is described as a tradable version of regular Ether. Users can also transfer other tokens after connecting to the Paradex app and their wallet, according to the site. Paradex allows users to trade ERC20 coins held in their wallets to it remains unclear if Coinbase will add direct purchase or trading support for such tokens. In March, the company announced it was adding support for the ERC20 technical standard, but has yet to reveal any specific products yet. So, Coinbase isn't crypto. Is there really any more evidence that you need than initially this experience is for our customers outside the U.S., but will be available to our United States customers as soon as the government tells us we can get off of our knees. Yeah. So Coinbase and Fed.gov.coin, when are they going to be together? Oh, wait, they are, aren't they? Didn't Coinbase just start accepting Ripple or selling Ripple too? It's a match made in hell.
I do not know. I will check.
A match made at the Federal Reserve. I'm sorry if you work for Coinbase and I just don't have any respect for you anymore as far as like the crypto industry is concerned. You sure as hell won't ever hear us advertising for Coinbase on this show.
Unless they pay us a lot of money.
No.
I'll advertise for them. I might not call you guys.
My soul is not for sale.
Mine is. Not to the devil, but, you know.
Coinbase.
No, I'm not seeing Ripple listed, so that's good.
Coinbase, Baphomet, it's all the same.
Hey, I like Baphomet.
It's really good in Final Fantasy VII.
Hey.
That's Bahamut.
Similar.
No,
Similar enough.
Bahamut's
I like
a
Kraken.
dragon. Baphomet is a name for Satan.
I like Kraken.
Diablos. There you go. Diablos is in Final Fantasy.
when the government came to Kraken, Kraken was like, "Ha, middle finger, y'all." They won't do business with customers in New York because of BitLicense. They just, if you live in New York, you can't access their servers.
Well, I mean, yeah, and a lot of crypto exchanges have dropped the United States entirely for the same reason.
That's right.
And that doesn't do us any good. I mean, it's kind of a case of, would you rather not have access to crypto at all because they've all said, what, screw Americans?
Well, we don't. That's not.
Or would you rather
the case
have the
either.
ones who get the government cream pies?
You will always have access to crypto. It will just be harder. You'll have to go through private avenues to gain access to it.
Giggity.
You have to access it private. So, and that's
Ari
your
is laughing
option
because
set.
of how resigned that Giggity was, because I
Right.
couldn't not do it, even though this segment has gone so far
off the rails.
I'm surprised why the reach around and the bukkake and all of that didn't get giggities.
Right.
did,
or that it's
but I
off
was
the
too
rails, because
flabbergasted.
that's literally what's happening with Coinbase. Is they're on
Yay,
their
we
knees,
turned it back around to the...
on their knees
Oh,
in front
you
of
went right
Uncle
back to that,
Sam, begging for the
But they do-
shower and telling us all what a good time they're having.
Oh, no.
But they do make it so convenient.
I'm
to buy
so glad I'm taking
cryptocurrency.
medicine and I'm not fasting today. Because I totally wouldn't be able to do that.
I mean, I can open up an app on my phone and buy cryptocurrency directly from my bank account in 5 seconds.
Yeah, but that purchase will then be reported to the federal government. Now you've just totally undermined the whole purpose of
So
crypto.
I send it to Coinami and it's gone. They never see it again.
Yeah, but there's still a record that it existed, and the government's going to want to know what you did with it. Where did it go? That's my problem.
I lost the device.
There's a record?
that I used to
I don't
purchase
want
it.
there to be a record. It's none of the government's business. And if
Well,
you're in
the blockchain is the record.
if you're in the crypto industry and you're begging the government to come help you regulate the crypto industry, I'm not going to have respect for you, because crypto was.
Well, I don't think they should be respected. No, I'm just
Crypto was
saying,
built-
they do have a job to do, and they do adequately perform that job.
I guess. Anyway, and a quick warning to you guys before we go. I know a lot of people with their
Now
Mac,
we warn them.
Well, a lot of people with Mac computers are always just so sure that they're not going to be the victim of these types of attacks. But a new type of malicious software, CoinHive type software, is now being used to target Mac computers. So now Mac computers are being targeted for Monero mining softwares. So you Mac users, unfortunately, you are no longer safe either. So when we get back here on the Call to Freedom, we'll be moving on with the rest of today's biggest news. We'll be right back.
Free Press Publications is an independent, alternative media and publishing company founded in June 2009 with the mission of ensuring a free press for the freedom movement, and is committed to spreading the message of peace, freedom, love, and liberty. FPP also gives new authors an avenue for publishing freedom-oriented material. FPP brings you daily news and commentary on the website fpp.cc, as well as a daily 5-minute newscast, FPP Radio News, and weekly news, views, and commentary in the FPP Freedom Minute and Peace, Love, Liberty Radio at fppradio.com, and the monthly newspaper FPP News at news.fpp.cc. Find FPP online at fpp.cc. That's fpp.cc, as in Creative Commons.
Did you know you can get news updates about what's happening with the Liberty Radio Network delivered in the way you prefer? You can sign up for our email updates at updates.lrn.fm. Plus, you can stay in the loop by joining our Facebook profile at facebook.lrn.fm or follow us at Twitter at twitter.lrn.fm. It's all free, so sign up now at updates.lrn.fm for news updates delivered to your email box, facebook.lrn.fm to follow our Facebook page, and twitter.lrn.fm to receive our tweets.
Are you tired of your taxes funding endless occupations around the world? Antiwar.com is run by people who understand that wars abroad become wars at home, wars on our freedoms. Antiwar.com is dedicated to bringing you the latest in news, views, interviews, and reviews from the top movers and shakers in the anti-occupation movement. Antiwar.com has it all, from thorough foreign policy analysis to interviews with whistleblowers who used to run the military-industrial complex. Anti-war, pro-free market. That's antiwar.com.
More of the Call to Freedom is coming up next, live after the news on the Liberty Radio Network at LRN.FM.
From Keene in the Shire, the Liberty Media capital of the world, this is Daryl W. Perry, host of FPP Radio News for Wednesday, May 23rd, 2018. Silver is trading at $16.47 per ounce. Gold is valued at $1,294 per ounce. Zencash is trading at $37, and the average price of Bitcoin is $7,876. Antiwar.com reports at least 55 people were killed and scores of others wounded in a series of Taliban attacks across Afghanistan, starting with a double suicide bombing on Monday morning in the capital city of Kabul. The strikes hit near NATO headquarters. 25 were killed and 45 wounded in Kabul. In the neighboring Ghazni province, the Taliban carried out attacks on police forces, killing at least 14 police, including a district commander, and wounding 12 others. They stormed several checkpoints. Further south in Kandahar, security forces found a van packed with explosives. They failed to defuse it, and the ensuing explosion killed at least 16 people and wounded 38 others. Officials say they also recovered weapons and suicide vests in the same area and believe the militants were planning a big attack against shoppers near the end of Ramadan. The Taliban's attacks are on the increase because of the spring offensive. They are believed to have been responsible for the Kabul and Ghazni attacks. Though there has yet to be any claim of responsibility for the Kandahar deaths, that city is the Taliban's homeland.
For over 40 years, Robertson Roberts Brokerage has been a trusted source for buying and selling precious metals like gold and silver. And as a Bitcoin-preferred business, Robertson Roberts Brokerage has removed the minimum purchase amount for all orders paid in the digital currency. Call Robertson Roberts Brokerage today for knowledgeable advice on buying and selling precious metals and a forward-thinking approach to new technologies. 800-874-9760 or visit online at rrbi.co.
UPI reports the American Civil Liberties Union demanded Amazon stop marketing facial recognition technology to government agencies, citing possible civil rights violations. The ACLU Foundations of California released emails Tuesday between Amazon and law enforcement agencies in Orlando, Florida, and the Washington County Sheriff's Office in Oregon regarding the facial recognition technology called Rekognition, which is powered by artificial intelligence. The team of 3 ACLU affiliates in California said in a release of the 147 pages of documents, which includes the emails, reveals how Amazon and its subsidiary, Amazon Web Services, marketed the facial recognition technology to law enforcement agencies. The document release capped a 6-month investigation into how Amazon has helped agencies deploy the technology. The ACLU Foundations of California said it objects to Amazon's marketing of Rekognition to these agencies based on privacy concerns and the potential for discriminatory abuse. It sent a letter Tuesday to Amazon CEO Jeff Bezos demanding his company stop marketing the product to government agencies. Tuesday's letter to Bezos said people should be free to walk down the street without being watched by the government. Facial recognition in American communities threatens this freedom. In over-policed communities of color, it could effectively eliminate it. A spokesperson for Amazon Web Services defended the company in a statement to The Hill. The spokesperson said, Amazon requires that customers comply with the law and be responsible for when they use AWS services. When we find that AWS services are being abused by a customer, we suspend that customer's rights to use our services. The spokesperson added, our quality of life would be much worse today if we outlawed new technology because some people could choose to abuse the technology. Imagine if customers couldn't buy a computer because it was possible to use the computer for illegal purposes. Tuesday's letter, also signed by other ACLU chapters and several other activist organizations that focus on defending constitutional rights, civil rights, and human rights, such as the Center for Media Justice, Color of Change, and Human Rights Watch. Malkia Cyrell, executive director of the Center for Media Justice, said in the release, we already know that facial recognition algorithms discriminate against black faces and are being used to violate human rights of immigrants.
You can support FPP Radio by joining the Fans program. To learn more or to join the Fans program, visit fans.fppradio.com.
Reuters reports pirate attacks around South American and Caribbean waters are growing, and violence is increasingly used during robberies committed on vessels at anchor, according to a report released on Wednesday. The Oceans Beyond Piracy nonprofit group recorded 71 incidents in Latin America and the Caribbean in 2017, an increase of 163% from 2016. They said the majority of attacks occurred in territorial waters, with around 59% of the incidents involving robbery on yachts. Venezuela, St. Vincent and the Grenadines, Colombia, and St. Lucia were the regional hotspots during 2017. This has been FPP Radio News, online at fppradio.com.
For the past several years now, area woman Caitlin Mooney has been convinced that each and every one of her friends should be a professional comedian. Our reporters spoke to Caitlin this morning about her, quote, hilarious group of friends.
Karen is so funny. Like, I can't even explain it. She's always just saying whatever on her mind. She has this totally sassy attitude. You just can't help but laugh. My roommate Rashmi, she always has these hilarious stories that, I mean, they're just too much. I'm always telling her that she should just go up on stage and talk. I mean, everyone would love it.
Mooney went on to say that her good friend Lauren is so funny she could, quote, definitely be on Saturday Night Live or The Office, a sentiment she echoed about a number of her other acquaintances, including her childhood friend Marcia, her college roommate Angela, her coworker Julie, and even her sister Jennifer.
This is the Onion News Network.
You are listening to the Call to Freedom on LRN.FM. Unasikiliza wito wa uhuru katika LRN.FM.
Welcome back here to the final hour of this Thursday afternoon drive home broadcast of the Call to Freedom here on LRN.FM. So we started the day off talking about the NFL and whether or not taxpayer-funded businesses like that should be able to just unilaterally overrule the free expression rights of individuals and then claim, oh, well, we're private. Never mind that we receive close to $1 million a year in subsidies from the government, and that's not counting the fact that the stadium and office building that we're running from is also built by the taxpayer most of the time. Sure. Oh, looky there. For some reason, Facebook thinks I care what my mayor's Facebook page is. Anyway, moving right along, there was another little thing in the news today. And rather than, before we get into describing it, I'll let you hear it straight from the horse's mouth. Oh, come on. You got to be kidding me.
I've decided to terminate the planned summit in Singapore on June 12th. I believe that this is a tremendous setback for North Korea and indeed a setback for the world. Hopefully, positive things will be taking place with respect to the future of North Korea. But if they don't, we are more ready than we have ever been before. A lot of things can happen, including the fact that perhaps, and would wait, it's possible that the existing summit could take place or a summit at some later date. Nobody should be anxious. We have to get it right.
Nobody should be anxious, except that then in the letter that he sent
we're moving
to Kim
along,
Jong-un,
and we'll see what happens. There are certain conditions that we want. And
can I play the
neon
neon card?
Conditions, and if we don't, we don't have the meeting. And frankly, it has a chance to be a great, great meeting for North Korea and a great meeting for the world.
So he's citing a flurry of hostile statements, and he pulled what were the hostile statements though? Tom, you got any ideas here?
I know they called Mike Pence stupid.
They called who stupid?
Mike Pence, the vice president. North Korea called him stupid.
Well,
I don't know if that happened before or after. Well, I know he is. But Will asked if they'd made any hostile statements, and that was the only one I could actually think of. I know Trump made hostile statements because in his it's formal, like the letter on White House stationery that he sent telling North Korea he was canceling this meeting, he actually said in it, "You guys keep talking about your nukes, but we have the biggest nuclear arsenal. It's very powerful, and it would be a shame if we had to use it on you." But North Korea is the one who makes the reckless statements. You know?
Well, it says the summit's seemed on perilous ground even before the most recent exchange between Washington and Pyongyang. American and North Korean officials staked out deeply divergent positions on how quickly the North should surrender its nuclear arsenal, casting a shadow on what would be a history-making encounter that clearly beguiled both leaders. Based on tremendous...
Beguiled.
Right.
I had to look that up real quick.
Based on the tremendous anger and open hostility displayed in your most recent statement, I believe it's inappropriate at this time to have this long-planned meeting, Trump wrote. Please let this letter serve to represent that the Singapore summit for the good of both parties, but to the detriment of the world, will not take place. A North Korean official had referred to Mr. Pence as a political dummy after the vice president said Mr. Kim could meet the same fate as Libya's leader, Colonel Muammar Gaddafi, if he didn't make the deal with the United States. Yeah, that's a great idea.
That's pretty stupid.
That's a great idea. What we'll do is we'll take an example of a leader who did exactly what we're asking you to do, give up his nuclear arms, that within a year after him doing so was paraded around in the streets with a bullet in his head and a rod slammed up his rectum as like a you know those effigies that they burn? Yeah, it was a human being though, still alive. And then they shot him in the streets. So, invoking Muammar Gaddafi before you tell a government leader to give up their nuclear weapons has got to be the stupidest thing in political dummy. Could there have been a truer statement made by this North Korean official? I mean, honestly. Anybody? Hello?
Yeah, you know, every time somebody mentions Gaddafi, I think about how he looks like one of the Moai on Easter Island. And I mean, that's literally all my brain thinks about when he's mentioned. So, sorry.
Okay, very good. We've isolated the issue. Is that Gaddafi is, you know... we didn't isolate
Arab? I don't know.
Yeah.
Well, no, I mean, it's just... You're trying to convince a dictator to give up his nuclear weapons, and in doing so, you invoke the memory of the last dictator that you convinced to give up his nuclear weapons, and
his dead arse.
Oh, wait, no. And how the American government...
We saw he died.
Yes, exactly. How within a year after giving up his nukes, the American government had him killed. The U.S. incited a coup, funded a coup, and had him killed. So you better give up your nukes too. Or we'll do the same to you. Oh, wait, we didn't do that to Gaddafi before because he had nukes. What planet are these people on? It says we're not going to beg the U.S. for dialogue, nor take the trouble to persuade them if they don't want to sit together, says Cho Sun-hui, a vice foreign minister. She said it was up to Washington whether the U.S. will meet us at a meeting room or encounter us at a nuclear-to-nuclear showdown. Mr. Trump's letter left open the possibility that the meeting could get back on track, though he puts the onus to do that entirely on the North. if you change your mind having to do with this most important summit, please do not hesitate to call me or write. You know what? I would call him and write. We're not giving up our weapons. We're not stupid. Who do you think we are? Muammar Gaddafi? That would be my response. Well, you think I'm an idiot like Gaddafi?
Which, I mean, the answer is yes, we do.
Because Gaddafi himself said, just a few years before he gave up his weapons, that the U.S. was trying to make sure that every man, it was at the Arab Union or whatever, like all the different Muslim countries, political leaders come together, mostly Arab and African political leaders come together. And they all laughed at Gaddafi when he said that all the men in that room would be hanging from a noose that the American government had tied within 5 years. All of those men are dead except for the Saudi. Oh no, the Saudi king that was alive then is dead now too, but it wasn't because of a noose. It was because of his own gluttony. But still, all of those other political leaders that laughed at Gaddafi, all dead. All dead. Or currently living through U.S. airstrikes, a la Assad. Anyway, when we get back, we're going to continue on with Trump taking a piss all over the peace process in North Korea. And does the U.S. really have a right to stick its nose in when it comes to peace? I mean, look at our track record. When we get back here on the Call to Freedom, LRN.FM.
Radio is the most personal of mediums. I exist right now in your head. If you listen to Free Talk Live regularly, you know me. Free Talk Live is on more than 160 radio stations around the U.S. and has been downloaded on every continent around the world. Hundreds of thousands of listeners with ad packages from $600 a month to $6,000 a month. Imagine what we can do for your business, project, website, or idea. Email me, mark@freetalklive.com.
On Free Talk Live, we're bringing people to the ideas of liberty every day. From wrestling superstars like Glenn Jacobs.
You guys really are having an impact, I believe. Like I said, a lot of where I am now is due to listening to Free Talk Live. You changed my mind on some very important issues years ago.
To random people tuning in on the radio.
I was kind of stuck in the left-right paradigm. I heard your show by chance on a Saturday night. From there, I went on, joined the Free State Project, and become an amplifier. So, I mean, that's really the reason why I amp is because I know that if it wasn't for you guys being on as many stations as you are, I never would have found the ideas of liberty.
Your amp will directly change more lives by getting Free Talk Live in front of people looking for talk radio online and on the air. When you amp Free Talk Live, you get perks like access to the AMP-only Facebook group and AMP podcast. Visit amp.freetalklive.com.
Imagine someone in your community getting in their car, turning on the radio, and hearing the Liberty Radio Network. You can make that vision a reality with your own micro radio station. Visit broadcast.lrn.fm to learn how you can put our programs on the air in your area. You can have LRN.FM running around the clock, and you can even add in your own local shows. Building a radio station is simple, but programming isn't. That's where LRN.FM comes in. Learn more at broadcast.lrn.fm. That's broadcast.lrn.fm.
This Your Family Today tip is brought to you by Boost Kid Essentials Nutritionally Complete Drink, providing your picky eater with essential nutrition and great taste in one drink. Visit us at kidessentials.com. To make sure your kids eat healthy, follow the 5-a-day plan. Serve 3 servings of vegetables and 2 servings of fruit daily. Remember, a serving could just mean a piece of fruit or a half cup of veggies. If your kids are picky eaters, ask a nutritionist about other sources. For more tips like these, visit us at parenthood.com/yourfamilytoday.
The 3 most important things you can do for LRN.FM are: 1. Let your friends know you're listening to LRN.FM on your social networking profile. 2. Buy the things you buy online through shop.lrn.fm. 3. Give $5 a month to the AMP program at amp.lrn.fm. It's my firm belief that the AMP program is the best use of your charitable dollar among liberty-oriented groups. Support all your favorite organizations, but make sure you give $5 a month to the AMP program at amp.lrn.fm.
The Free State Project has reached its goal of 20,000 liberty lovers who've pledged to move to New Hampshire and get active to achieve liberty in our lifetime. Perhaps you're trying to figure out what part of New Hampshire should be your destination. If so, consider Keene. You'll find more than 150 reasons to move to Keene at move.freekeene.com. Keene is famous for its historic, publicity-generating activism, as well as being the liberty media capital of the world. It's home to freekeene.com, New Hampshire's destination for liberty activism, news, and opinion. For years, we've been compiling over 150 reasons to move to Keene at move.freekeene.com, where you'll learn about some of what's happening here and what makes Keene a great place to live. If you love liberty, you'll probably enjoy anywhere you end up in the Shire. But do your due diligence first. Please visit move.freekeene.com for the full list of over 150 reasons to move to Keene. That's move.freekeene.com.
Love what we do? Please help support our international satellite channels at patreon.lrn.fm. That's patreon.lrn.fm.
You are listening to The Call to Freedom live on LRN.FM. تستمعون إلى نداء للحرية مباشرة على LRN.FM.
Back here to the Call to Freedom here on LRN.FM. So it is another beautiful day here in the Shire, and I just wanted to let you know that, these days it is so hard to keep your communications safe from the prying eyes of the state. See, there's so many different tools in the government goon's toolbox that he can use to come after you with. He can subpoena the information that a company might have on their server about you so that they can get your name, phone number, address, and other personal information. Or, as we've seen in many foreign countries, they can shut down servers in order to prevent you from communicating. Oh, wait. Didn't we also see that at Standing Rock as well? The shutting down of servers to prevent people from being able to live stream what was happening at events and things like that. Well, with CryptVisor, it cuts all that out. You see, it's a decentralized communication platform that's hosted on the blockchain. What that means is, well, if Mr. Government Goon comes around with his search warrant and he says, hey, CryptVisor, I want all the information that you have about your customers. Well, you see, CryptVisor doesn't keep any information. No email, no phones, no names, no IP addresses, nothing. So if they want it, well, CryptVisor doesn't have it to give. And there is no centralized server. It's on the blockchain. That means thousands of nodes all across the world. So unless your government has the ability to shut down the internet altogether, well, then they won't be stopping you from communicating. The full launch just came out this week. So head on over to cryptvisor.network, learn about their advanced security features and the new CVPay crypto wallet. Again, that's cryptvisor.network, your home for advanced secured communication. So basically, Mike Pence said probably one of the most politically retarded things you could possibly say in the midst of brokering a peace deal that also includes a dictator giving up his nuclear arms. He invoked the memory of a dictator that gave up his nuclear arms and then within a year had a bloody revolution incited by the United States CIA in his country and was then paraded around the streets with a broom handle shoved up his rectum and a bullet in his head. Well, in response, the Korean government said, "You're an idiot." And Trump got mad and he's going to take his ball and go home because You don't call my friend Mr. Poopy Pants. So, yeah. Welcome to Trump negotiation style. It's like a...
I mean, it's not surprising. The United States was never serious about talking to North Korea about ending their nuclear program.
It's like an SNL skit, but in real life. You couldn't write comedy this good. So what we'll do is we'll put the scene together, right? And the scene is North Korea and America and a peace deal. And then what we'll do is we'll have Mike Pence talk about the last deal that we did like this, where the guy ended up dead. And the crowd will laugh so hard. It'll be the funniest joke all year. Oh, wait, hold on. This is real life. Sometimes, man, I just look at the stories and I'm like, I have lost not faith in government. I lost faith in government a long time ago. I've lost my faith in humanity. Because there are still people that think this guy's doing a great job.
A lot of them. A lot of them.
Yes. Yes. Let's see here. Gambia is going to beat America to a federal law against the death penalty. Good on America. Third world countries don't use the state.
Right.
Right? You know, Gambia is going to beat you to it. Let's see. A right to try. What's a right to try? A right to try what?
That's the right to try a medicine that is not yet approved by the FDA. Basically.
Oh, I like that. It's finally heading to Trump's desk. Not clear whether pharmaceutical companies will work with patients outside of the FDA's supervision. Do it. Do it. It was passed Tuesday by the House of Representatives. I say do it. If somebody's got a disease and they're dying, and there's like, well, I mean, you're going to die. That will happen. But if you take this, you might not die. But I can't give you this thing that might make you not die because the government hasn't given me permission yet. Who thought that was a good idea?
Well, the government.
I mean, really? Who thought it was a good idea to tell dying people, hey, this might help you, but we can't give it to you. I'm sorry. I don't know. Maybe I'm just a simple man, too simple to understand all this fancy stuff like keeping medicine from dying people. Oh wait, that's not simple. That's not complicated. That's just immoral.
Mm-hmm. Just cruel.
Cruel and immoral. So anyway, moving on. When we get back here in just a little while, Reason Magazine's done a story about a town in Atlanta that they're bragging about giving fines for some of the dumbest things, like chipped paint or wood that's not stacked correctly. Stealth taxes in Doraville, Georgia. And if you got an opinion, you're welcome to give us a call at 603-283-6160. Hit us up on the Discord line at discord.lrn.fm or our lrn.fm studio line on Skype. We'll be right back here on the Call to Freedom on lrn.fm in just a moment.
This is Mike
Michael Dean from the Freedom Fiends. I've run websites since 1996 and have used over a dozen web hosts in that time. AgristHosting.com is the only one that hasn't broken my heart. Agrist Hosting's uptime and service is stellar, and their DDoS mitigation is the best I've seen. That's important because if you tell the truth in this world, you'll ruffle feathers. And some people will try dirty tricks to silence your voice. No matter what the haters hit us with, Agrist Hosting keeps our websites online. If you have a mission-critical commercial presence or a world-changing activism site, you cannot tolerate any skullduggery. So go with AgristHosting.com. Have a WordPress or blog site, but you're not satisfied with performance or uptime? Or just want raw hosting? Want to pay with Bitcoin? Agrist Hosting specializes in high-performance hosting with personalized service. Go to AgristHosting.com and click on the button that says Get Hosted. That's AgristHosting.com.
What do you shop for that you could otherwise buy at Amazon? Pretty much everything, right? Amazon has competitive pricing and they deliver, and that's a big plus. If you could plan ahead in your shopping, would you be interested in saving up to 33%? There's a catch. You have to do your shopping in Bitcoin. But imagine those savings. It's like a huge raise. All you have to do is go to SaveItPurse.com. We've saved thousands, and you can too. Plan ahead and save. SaveItPurse.com. Is spreading the message of liberty, cryptocurrency, and peace around the globe worth $2 per month to you? As you may already know, in addition to our internet feed, LRN.FM broadcasts on free-to-air satellite across North and Central America, as well as Sub-Saharan Africa. And we've been available on satellite for free 24/7 since 2010. The LRN.FM free-to-air satellite signal is reaching some of the most oppressive regimes in the world, and there's no doubt our ideas are making an impact. You can learn more about the channel's impact by watching the 3-minute video at fund.lrn.fm. If you'd like to help free minds globally with our ideas of liberty, cryptocurrency, and peace, you can donate as little as $2 per month via fund.lrn.fm. You can help us continue and expand our satellite broadcast to multiple continents. Visit fund.lrn.fm today, and thank you for your help. Don't forget to share the link on social media. That's fund.lrn.fm. Did you know we've taken our LRN.FM telephone listen line to a new level with the LRN.FM audio on demand line? Now you can call 712-770-8447 anytime and listen to LRN.FM's live feed. And you can listen to a bunch of our original shows on demand. Long distance fees may apply. Just dial 712-770-8447 and choose from the menu. 712-770-8447.
It's the Onion Radio News. An area man doesn't know what to do with all the extra ketchup packets. This is Doyle Redland reporting. After finishing his Big Bacon Classic combo, Erie, Pennsylvania resident and Wendy's patron Don Turnby, 38, expressed uncertainty today regarding what to do with all the extra ketchup packets. Turnby had asked for extra ketchup upon placing his order for a ketchup-necessitating Biggie fries.
Well, I knew it was too many ketchups because I usually only need 3 or 4 for my Biggie fries, but I just took them anyway.
At his nearby home, the Turnby pantry is crammed with hundreds of other restaurant condiments, including single-serving packets of Taco Bell mild sauce, Arby's horsey sauce, soy sauce, McDonald's Chicken McNuggets hot mustard sauce, pats of shed spread country crock from Ponderosa Steakhouse, and a selection of Smucker's jellies and jams from several area diners. Doyle Redland for the Onion Radio News, online at theonion.com.
This is the Liberty Radio Network, broadcasting the latest liberty-oriented audio content 24 hours a day at LRN.FM.
This is Angel Clark, and you're listening to The Call to Freedom on LRN.FM.
Disclaimer. When I die, I want to be put into orbit around Earth in a flying kick position. This is my dream. My dream. My dream. My dream. My dream. This is my dream.
All right. Welcome back here to the Call to Freedom here on LRN.FM. Broadcasting live from the Zencash studio right here in beautiful Keene, New Hampshire. And as we were headed out, I told you guys about a little town in Georgia. They've decided that they're going to balance their budget on the backs of laws that aren't laws, they're regulations. Improperly stacked firewood? Maybe a crack in your driveway? How about a little chipped paint on your porch? These are the kinds of offenses that the government of Doraville, Georgia, is using to fine residents and threaten them with jail time, all in a very open, explicit attempt to balance the budget of an 8,000-person Atlanta suburb. Now, people hit by some of those fines are suing the city in federal court, arguing that its direct final interest in convicting people tried by its municipal court violates the 14th Amendment's due process guarantee. The lawsuit, filed by the Institute for Justice, seeks to stop municipalities from budgeting to receive fines and fees, says IJ attorney Josh House. Where you have a city that uses these numbers to balance its budget, you're creating an unconstitutional incentive to use the municipal courts to balance the budget. From 2016 to 2017, Doraville pulled in $3.5 million in fines, accounting for a quarter of the city's budget. A 2017 U.S. Commission on Civil Rights report found that the town ranked sixth in the nation in the percentage of its budget coming from fines. As has been covered extensively, the use of fines and penalties as a source of revenue and cops and code enforcers as shadow tax collectors is not limited to Doraville. But House says that Doraville is unusually brazen. This is a city that's unapologetic about its use of ticketing to raise money, he says, pointing to this boast in the 2015 city government newsletter, quote, averaging 1,500 cases and bringing in over $3 million annually, the court system contributes heavily to the city's bottom line, end quote. The four plaintiffs in the case against Doraville include Hilda Brucker, who was summoned to municipal court in October 2016 by a court employee who said she had failed to appear for a hearing about code violations on her property. Brucker said she never received a warning or court summons and was never given a chance to correct the violations. She was, nevertheless, forced to defend herself against a city prosecutor who claimed she was guilty of 3 unbated violations, including a cracked driveway, some overgrown weeds in her backyard, and a front porch with some rotten boards that had chipped paint. Brucker was convicted of a misdemeanor and sentenced to a $100 fine and 6 months of probation. Now, just so you know, probation has costs. You pay your probation officer probation costs every time you go, and you pay a $35 to $75 cost to take a drug test on top of that. So that $100 fine comes along with lots of little tidbits for the city and to the city government to make in other places as well.
And tell them what happens if you don't pay those costs, Will.
Well, hold on. She was forced to report to a probation officer, told she wasn't allowed to drink, and told that she had to cooperate with code enforcement on demand. Failure to do any of these things will result in jail time. It's simply ridiculous and ludicrous, as Bruckner says in an Institute for Justice video. No one ever asked me to fix the driveway. This is a neighborhood of very old driveways. Bruckner's neighbor, Jeff Thornton, was also called to Doraville's municipal court in July of 2016 after being notified of an arrest warrant that had been issued for a missed court date that he claims he never even knew about. Thornton's crime? Keeping a pile of wood in his backyard that did not conform to the city's exact requirement that logs be cut into squared segments 4 inches wide, 8 inches long.
When you have a city requirement about how your wood has to be cut,
giggity.
You don't get more police state than that.
Well, Mr. Thornton was also charged with having boards, buckets, and trimmings stacked against the side of his house. In October of 2016...
The monster!
Well, in October...
Will someone please think of the kids?
He was fined $1,000 for the woodpile in October of 2016, and when Thornton protested that he couldn't afford that fine, his punishment was reduced to $300 and 12 months of probation, which, as we now know, will get them the $1,000 across the 12 months. When he claimed the $300 was still too steep, the charge was dropped entirely. Doraville ceased its ticketing and collection efforts once it was clear that Jeff could not pay. The Institute for Justice complaint says, public health and safety was never the point of its enforcement action against Jeff. The other two plaintiffs, represented by the Institute for Justice, are Janice Craig and Byron Billingsley, non-residents who were stopped for traffic violations while driving through Doraville. Craig was charged with changing lanes, quote...
What state is this in?
Georgia. Craig was charged with changing lanes...
That's not on the way between here and New Hampshire, is it?
No. Quote, in a way that held up traffic. And Billingsley was accused of changing lanes without signaling. Doraville has a reputation as a speed trap, using its location on the Atlanta Beltway to ticket freeway commuters for traffic offenses. A 2014 Atlanta Constitution-Journal investigation found that Doraville was ranking in the same amount from traffic fines as nearby Roswell, which had a population 10 times as large. Of the 3.4...
I mean, it sounds like Dora is just doing the same thing every other
small town
municipality does, only they're more brazen about it.
They brag about it.
I mean, this is not new. This is what they do. This is why traffic laws exist. It's why you got that ticket for running that stop sign at 3 in the morning, even though no one was around except that cop sitting there on the side of the road.
Most police departments deny that they use fines as a way to fulfill their bottom line or that there's some kind of quota. And Doraville is very, very upfront about the fact that this is one of our best sources of revenue. And we should find a way to make it a better one.
I mean, everybody I know is aware of it, that, you know, come December, you're going to see cops pulling people over left and right, trying to make their quotas. So, I mean...
it's also used
so Dora
as a way,
is making it known.
They're also using it as a way for conservatives to keep from having to raise local taxes. House says that Doraville's ability to squeeze drivers helps explain why it relies on fines rather than tax revenues to fund basic municipal operations. Most of the people ticketed are drivers, he said. They're not actually residents. That means you can raise money on the backs of people that don't even live in your city and don't have the ability to vote for you. The Institute for Justice argues that Doraville's practice...
I'm sorry, all I heard was that way you can be a fascist and be unaccountable at the same time.
Well, yeah. That's kind of the whole point.
I mean, that's the most horrific thing I've ever heard a politician say. Is look, you can screw all of these other people, and they can't even vote you out.
Yeah. Yeah. That's the problem. All right.
I mean, that's beyond a problem. That's
America. It's America. That's what it is. All right. Well, when we get back here in just a little while, we'll continue on with our final segment of this live broadcast on a wonderful Thursday afternoon here in the Shire. We'll move on to our cannabis news. So don't go anywhere.
My friend, pass it over to...
Looking for a great real estate investment? Consider New Hampshire, which is ground zero for the Liberty Movement. Your first call should be to Mark Worden from Porcupine Real Estate. He's more than just a real estate agent. He's your New Hampshire concierge. Where are the best places to live? Do you want farm, city, the burbs, or forest? Do you want a duplex or multifamily building so that renters pay your mortgage? There are homes in all price ranges in New Hampshire, and Mark can help with financing too. Invest in Liberty and property. Mark Worden can help.
PorcupineRealEstate.com. Since time began, tyrants have taken aim at personal liberties. Now there's a movie that aims back.
The government has no more right to tell us what to put in our bodies than they have to take our guns or tell us what books we can read.
6 drug police were eaten by bears while raiding a marijuana farm.
On your knees, you dirty hippies! Jesus. On your knees! What's the problem, officer?
Today, many cops who enforce pot laws do so only because it provides them with cushy jobs, good benefits, and a chance to push people around.
I was an undercover narcotics officer. The drug war is nothing but a farce.
The Second Amendment says you gotta keep you and your get intact.
Guns and Weed, The Road to Freedom. A film by Michael W. Dean and Nima Vadadi.
DVD available now at gunsandweed.com or on Amazon. That's gunsandweed.com. Makes the perfect gift. Remember, that's gunsandweed.com.
Some of you asked, and now we've delivered. LRN.FM's live Keene, New Hampshire studio shows are now streamed in HD on Twitch. Visit our channel at twitch.lrn.fm and give it a follow. If you have Amazon Prime, you get 1 free subscription on Twitch. If you use it on our channel, Twitch will give LRN.FM a monthly piece of your Prime subscription cost. So please watch, follow, share, and subscribe to twitch.lrn.fm. That's twitch.lrn.fm.
Are you tired of governments murdering people around the world? Stop using their money. There is an alternative. Bitcoin is a stateless, free market, non-political currency. Bitcoin cannot be inflated or controlled by any government. By using their money, you are helping the state. Stop doing it! You have an incredible alternative available now. Learn it, use it, spread it. Get started with Bitcoin at bitcoin.com. That's bitcoin.com.
Did you know you can listen to LRN.FM via our free-to-air satellite channels? We have channels over nearly all of North America and much of Africa. All you need is an affordable receiver and a dish as small as 30 inches. There are no monthly fees. Learn more at sat.lrn.fm. Plus, if you are a broadcaster or want to be one, this is a good delivery method for our content. See our coverage maps and get details at sat.lrn.fm. That's sat.lrn.fm. sat.lrn.fm.
Hey guys, Mark Claire here, lionsofliberty.com, where we strive to advance the ideas of liberty daily. We bring you the Morning Roar. That's right, every Monday to Friday we'll have a brand new edition of the Morning Roar, where we provide a roundup of some news stories that you may not find in the mainstream media or even in your typical social media newsfeed. We find stories that relate to the ideas of liberty and provide you with our liberty perspective on them. Every Monday, we have our longest-running feature, Mondays with Murray, named after the great libertarian Murray Rothbard, where we'll examine an article or an excerpt from his works and help convey his view, along with our little spin as well. We wrap it all up every Friday with Felony Friday, where our own John Odermatt goes out and takes a look at some sort of felony. There's felonies committed every day, you know, whether it's a felony committed by the police, a politician, or even an average citizen. You can find all of this and so much more over at lionsofliberty.com. Advancing the ideas of liberty daily.
You can sign up to receive the latest about the Liberty Radio Network via our email updates at updates.lrn.fm. That's updates.lrn.fm.
You're listening to The Call to Freedom on LRN.fm.
تستمتعون إلى برنامج نداء للحرية مباشرة على LRN.fm.
Let's focus our discussion first on marijuana, okay? Marijuana has a very distinct smell, okay? I'm going to pass around just a little tiny bit, and I want you all to take a smell so you know when someone is smoking marijuana near you.
Back here to the Call to Freedom here on LRN.FM. We are broadcasting live from our Zencash studio here in the Shire in Keene, New Hampshire. And you know what, guys? You should come up here and visit us. We've got a great event that's coming in the next few days. It's called Fork Fest. Now, while you're up here, you can hit one of the many cryptocurrency accepting businesses that are all over Keene. You know, come visit us here. And then when you get done, you just go right just a few hours up to Lancaster, and you can join liberty-minded, voluntarist, anarchist, activists, and other libertarians. June the 14th through June the 18th for Fork Fest 2018 at Rogers Campground in the beautiful White Mountains of New Hampshire. Now, Fork Fest is a fork of other camping parties in the woods, and you're invited to come and help us create whatever experience that you'd like others to have. You see, Fork Fest is completely decentralized. That means there's nobody in charge. So everybody's in charge, and it's completely up to you to decide what happens. Or, you know what? Just grab yourself a cooler, a lawn chair, a tent, kick back, relax, have a great time with some Liberty lovers in the woods. Go over and learn more at forkfest.party. While you're there, you can join the forum or the Telegram chat group. Again, that's forkfest.party. We hope to see you there in just a few weeks. Now, it is the last segment of the show today, joined by Miss Aria DiMezzo from cryptocurrencycheck.org and our legal mind, Mr. Tom Gray. And that means it's time for cannabis news. And today's big story, well, cannabis may protect brains against stress and injury. Here's why. Says each year around 2 million Americans experience a sports-related traumatic brain injury. Soldiers are also at elevated risk for traumatic brain injuries. 17% of soldiers deployed to Iraq experienced a traumatic brain injury, and among them, 59% experienced multiple traumatic brain injuries. On a less overt level, our stress levels are on the rise. And to make matters worse, there's a direct link between stress and increased risk for cardiovascular effects like heart attack and stroke. Both brain injury and cardiovascular events elevate risk for age-related brain diseases like dementia. My own father suffers from dementia. My aunt just passed away a couple months ago. She suffered from dementia as well. Says, do we have the tools at our disposal to mitigate these risks? Sure. Proper nutrition, maintaining a healthy body weight, and regular exercise are all going to help. Helmets do too. But a growing body of research over the last couple decades is suggesting that there's another potential strategy to making the brain more resilient to the damaging effects of injury and the challenges and changes associated with stress. And it involves cannabis. You see, it seems intuitive that the greatest amount of brain damage occurs at the time of physical trauma. But for most closed head injuries and cardiovascular events, the majority of damage occurs during the recovery period. Minutes to days after the injury. It's the delayed response that's inflicting long-term havoc on brains. Many current strategies to protect the brain after injuries act to reduce this secondary response. There are 3 general mechanisms that damage the brain in periods after trauma, and it's thought that THC and CBD can protect against each. The first is an increase in excitatory brain chemicals. Injury causes massive releases of excitatory brain chemicals, glutamate in particular. Glutamate plays an important role in an uninjured brain, but its levels need to be tightly regulated. Too much glutamate can kill brain cells, which is what happens following brain injuries. There's an increase in free radicals. Injury releases harmful chemicals called free radicals that damage brain cells by damaging DNA, impairing the cell's machinery, and even causing cell death. They're a byproduct of normal cell function and we have mechanisms of neutralizing them to limit damage. But after injuries, their levels become so high that only potent antioxidants can limit their damaging effects. And an increase in inflammation. Injury activates the brain's inflammatory response to repair the damage. Unfortunately, this repair process can permeate damages and changes in the way brain cells communicate with one another. Often, the swelling and inflammation is what ends up causing death because of these injuries. How exactly can cannabis help? Well, the endocannabinoid system provides a framework for many of cannabis's protective benefits, and the cannabinoid type 1 and type 2 receptors, CB1 and CB2, are powerful regulators of glutamate release and can be anti-inflammatory and facilitate antioxidant effects. The important role for CB receptors supports the benefits of THC, which directly activate CB1 and CB2 receptors, and CBD, which indirectly activates them. But just so you know, CBD does need THC in order to fully function properly. CB1 receptors are found in brain cells, and their activation by endogenous cannabinoids, or THC, dampens their communication. Particularly CB1 receptors have a profound ability to reduce glutamate release, highlighting the potential for prominent cannabinoids to suppress the harmful effects of glutamate following traumatic brain injuries. Since excessive glutamate signaling is a main contributor in early stage damage after brain injury, this is an extremely important place to start to limit the risk of brain damage and even death. In support of THC's protective benefits, TBI patients with THC in their blood were more likely to survive a traumatic brain injury than those without. Only 2% of those with THC in their blood did not survive their injury, compared to 12% without THC. Now, that may not seem like a lot, but 10 dead people versus 10 alive people, just ask those families how much that 10% can be worth. Now the question will be, if they had THC in their blood, did that contribute to the traumatic brain injury? Were they stoned driving? Did they fall off a roof while they were too high? That will become the question. Would the brain injury have happened at all? Are they related? Are they not? Let's see here. See, again, THC and CBD reduce glutamate signaling, which protects the brain from dying after protects brain cells from dying after injury and cardiovascular events like strokes. They also, let's see here. Low doses of THC also are anti-inflammatory, and also THC influences the ability for the body to use other types of antioxidants. So it ups your body's ability to take advantage of the antioxidants that A, creates naturally, and B, you have the ability to take after an injury. So, I mean, to me, this is pretty important. You know, we now know that if you get in a horrible car accident and, you know, you go face first through the windshield and have a brain injury, if you smoke pot, you're 10% less likely to die from the brain injury. That's a pretty important milestone. I mean, I wish my mom had my dad smoking pot before he had his stroke. Maybe his dementia wouldn't be as bad as it is now. It could have helped. Well, what do you think, Tom?
I think that tomorrow we're going to have Libertarian Drama of the Week for the people to send you off into the weekend. So I hope that you'll join us again on the Call to Freedom on LRN.FM. This has been your host, Will Coley, and your Classic Crew co-hosts, Tom Gray and Aria DeMezzo. Thank you for joining us, and have a wonderful rest of your Thursday. Stay tuned for Free Talk Live.
That's right. Don't go anywhere right now. Everybody, we got Free Talk Live coming up next.
Why did you move to the Shire?
I moved here to the Shire because there's other people around who take liberty just as seriously as I do.
I moved to the Shire because I saw videos of people challenging authority and thought that I could get support myself. It called to me, like, do this right now.
I wanted to be around people like me who got it, and once I got here, I knew there was nowhere else that I wanted to be.
I've always wanted to change the world, so I moved to the Shire to join people who were actually working towards doing the same thing.
The people here are awesome, loving, and positive. It was for the adventure and for the feeling of something important is happening here, and I just wanted to come to sort of be part of that.
Visit ShireSociety.com to read and sign the Shire Society Declaration and learn the reasons why, if you love liberty, you should immigrate to the Shire. Plus, add yourself to the Shire map at ShireSociety.com. That's ShireSociety.com.
Here's a chance to do a little activism while you're cruising Facebook, Twitter, or Google+. Between the LOL cats, the recipes, the hot girls, and the inspirational sunrise memes, Free Talk Live's posts pass by your newsfeed. Like them, comment. It gives us more exposure. If you don't see our posts, click like at facebook.freetalklive.com and then hover over it to click Get Notifications. It's an easy way to spread the ideas of liberty a bit further. I know you're busy, but you can spare that 1/10 of a calorie it takes to click on something. facebook.freetalklive.com.
In Survivor Max 2, School Bites, Max must scavenge through a wasteland swarming with the undead. Desperate to find the medicine he needs, he discovers a community of survivors at his former school. Has he finally found the safe haven he's been looking for, or will he discover that school bites? Look for Survivor Max on Facebook, read reviews on Amazon, and read Chapter 1 at survivormax.com.
You're 6 minutes away from a live episode of Free Talk Live, brought to you by freekeen.com. Listen live at freetalklive.com.
From Keene in the Shire, the Liberty Media capital of the world, this is Daryl W. Perry, host of FPP Radio News for Wednesday, May 23rd, 2018. Silver is trading at $16.47 per ounce. Gold is valued at $1,294 per ounce. Zencash is trading at $37, and the average price of Bitcoin is $7,876. Antiwar.com reports at least 55 people were killed and scores of others wounded in a series of Taliban attacks across Afghanistan, starting with a double suicide bombing on Monday morning in the capital city of Kabul. The strikes hit near NATO headquarters. 25 were killed and 45 wounded in Kabul. In the neighboring Ghazni province, the Taliban carried out attacks on police forces, killing at least 14 police, including a district commander, and wounding 12 others. They stormed several checkpoints. Further south in Kandahar, security forces found a van packed with explosives. They failed to defuse it, and the ensuing explosion killed at least 16 people and wounded 38 others. Officials say they also recovered weapons and suicide vests in the same area and believe the militants were planning a big attack against shoppers near the end of Ramadan. The Taliban's attacks are on the increase because of the spring offensive. They are believed to have been responsible for the Kabul and Ghazni attacks. Though there has yet to be any claim of responsibility for the Kandahar deaths, that city is the Taliban's homeland.
For over 40 years, Roberts & Roberts Brokerage has been a trusted source for buying and selling precious metals like gold and silver. And as a Bitcoin-preferred business, Roberts & Roberts Brokerage has removed the minimum purchase amount for all orders paid in the digital currency. Call Roberts & Roberts Brokerage today for knowledgeable advice on buying and selling precious metals and a forward-thinking approach to new technologies. 800-874-9760 or visit online at rrbi.co.
UPI reports the American Civil Liberties Union demanded Amazon stop marketing facial recognition technology to government agencies, citing possible civil rights violations. The ACLU Foundations of California released emails Tuesday between Amazon and law enforcement agencies in Orlando, Florida, and the Washington County Sheriff's Office in Oregon regarding the facial recognition technology called Rekognition, which is powered by artificial intelligence. The team of 3 ACLU affiliates in California said in a release of the 147 pages of documents, which includes the emails, reveals how Amazon and its subsidiary, Amazon Web Services, marketed the facial recognition technology to law enforcement agencies. The document release capped a 6-month investigation into how Amazon has helped agencies deploy the technology. The ACLU Foundations of California said it objects to Amazon's marketing of Rekognition to these agencies based on privacy concerns and the potential for discriminatory abuse. It sent a letter Tuesday to Amazon CEO Jeff Bezos demanding his company stop marketing the product to government agencies. Tuesday's letter to Bezos said people should be free to walk down the street without being watched by the government. Facial recognition in American communities threatens this freedom. In over-policed communities of color, it could effectively eliminate it. A spokesperson for Amazon Web Services defended the company in a statement to The Hill. The spokesperson said, Amazon requires that customers comply with the law and be responsible for when they use AWS services. When we find that AWS services are being abused by a customer, we suspend that customer's rights to use our services. The spokesperson added, our quality of life would be much worse today if we outlawed new technology because some people could choose to abuse